Yeah.
European Legion.
Yeah, and it's normally also pretty good against Beastmaster, but Beastmaster's probably going to get banned. Should get
So,
banned.
I mean, should. It was, I believe, one of the wins against Tundra, right? We did see Wish have a flawless game. I don't think he died on the Beastmaster, so, you know, not that it's necessarily something that mids aren't playing, but obviously most mids are playing it, but Wish, you know, he has shown us that he can do it. He can pull it off flawlessly, so Beastmaster probably going to go, and especially for Tundra, so not for Tundra, for Brame against Liquid, because I don't think you want Sumail getting his hands. You know, Sumail on the hands of a broken hero sounds like you're losing the game to it.
Yeah, that does sound like that. One hero that I'm very excited for, I think it was actually Skylark on the side of Brame that popularized it, definitely in the Western European scene, at least from what I have seen. Elder Titan offlane, Brian. It's working out.
We saw the highlights of him like 3-shotting the Slark in the laning phase. I think against the right matchups, any Agi core that doesn't necessarily like building armor, you're going to get 3-shotted no matter what items you have until you buy like an AC or something, and nobody wants to do that. So I think in the right matchup, I'm down. I'm ready to see that.
I am also ready to see that. I am ready to see the draft between these two teams, and we are also ready to start the draft very, very soon. It is Brame versus Team Liquid, so stay tuned, get yourself a glass of water or something like that. We'll be right back after the break. We have Upper Division Series for you here. Western European DPC League. It is DreamLeague Season 15. And we have Brame versus Team Liquid. And Team Liquid playing with Sumail. It's going to be very exciting to see what they can do with this stand-in. And it has been a while since we have seen him play. So there are high expectations, I must say. But it will just be a great series, I think. Do you guys agree that Liquid's still coming in as a favorite, even if they have a stand-in?
I think you'd have to say so. Yeah, as good as Brame look, and I don't think it's like a very one-sided at all. I think it's close. I think I'd say like 60-40 for Liquid coming into this, because I have been impressed by Brame.
Yeah.
And as you said, their record's pretty good so far. They lost 2-0 to OG. Understandable. OG with Ana looking pretty scary. And against Tundra, they're a pretty one-sided game. I think both were like 24-6 on the kills, 27-6 on the kills.
Yeah.
Like, it was flawless stuff against Tundra. So if they bring that level of performance, they're definitely going to give Liquid a pretty good run for their money here.
Yeah, they should for sure, Brian, right?
Yeah, I just think that Liquid is a team that usually starts off a little cold and then catches their momentum, feeds off of their own energy from series to series, and they just came off of a big win.
They did.
So, I'm just saying, I think we might be seeing top-tier Liquid today.
All
yeah,
right.
and Liquid also has the habit of pushing every series to a third game.
They are very good at that.
They are very good at that, very skilled at that indeed, which is good news for all of us, because that means we get to watch them play more Dota. And, you know, I'm sure that the Liquid organization is very happy with that as well.
Gotta get that
more
airtime.
screen time. Got him, oops. But yeah, we should be ready for the draft any moment now. We obviously already talked about Beastmaster expected to be banned, unless a team comes in with a plan against it and lets it through. But at the same time, just not do that. But I am very curious, because when we saw Liquid play the first time around against Alliance did ban out the Broodmother, because they just didn't want to face it, right? Mm-hmm. And then we saw Broodmother earlier this weekend, and it actually looked quite good. But we haven't seen it yet from Koikfa.
Yeah, but if anyone's able to just play it on the off lane, I mean, even in the old patch, he was playing it side lane some games, and it won. I think one of the games I remember, they were forced to side lane, safe lane the Brood. He was doing great. And now, arguably, with the changes, I think side lane Brood's probably better, right?
Yeah,
with the current Brood compared to the old one with the spiders early on. I mean, you've been laning against it, Brian. Like, some carries, you do struggle in that match.
I played Gyro thinking I can just flock down these spiders once he hits 6, but the problem is the Silken Boa just makes you miss. So you take like 2/3 of your health and damage, and
Can
most
it spin
carries...
to win?
Yeah.
Gyro?
You mean...
Oh, sorry, and that's I thought Juggernaut for a second. For my
no, I mean, either way.
Gyro only spins when he's dying.
I think the only way to deal
he's
with
probably done a fair bit of spinning.
yeah, you know what? I just want to say I think the only way to really deal with the hero is catch, like Storm Spirits in the mid lane. That was the game that it lost. So if they pick the Broodmother, I'd like to see a couple bans like that, because the only issue is that nobody can occupy the lane against Brood, but you can gank Brood. So that's the solution if they choose to
hold your horses.
I'm holding them.
I thought Sumail was gonna play remote, but no, he is in Utrecht right now, because I see Jabs in the background and he's in Utrecht. That's the bootcamp location of Team Liquid, by the way. That's the same location. They got him locally, and I'm very happy with that, because I thought that was gonna maybe be a hinder playing on the ping, but no ping here.
Oh, no, Sumail on no ping sounds pretty terrifying.
Very scary.
Pretty terrifying.
Yeah, when he played on OG, he was on ping the entire
yeah, he was.
I think, at least for the majority of their games, and of course on that stack that he played recently, he was like definitely
and he was
on
playing
ping
carry.
Then, so,
I just want to say that this guy, last time I checked, was ranked like 13 in an A, and he just randoms and goes mid.
Yeah,
he literally just randoms.
Wait, have you been playing against him in Europe?
I have not played against him in Europe yet.
No.
I'm just saying the last time I saw him in pubs, he was just randoming and like playing Omni Knight and Enigma middle and stuff. That's what he was doing.
Look at this already. Pretty wild opening from Liquid. Lena Magnus opening. You don't see this.
Strong lane. It's a strong lane. The shockwave into Light Strike Array.
Yeah.
The radius on Light Strike Array has made it much more reliable. You don't need a hard setup stun. Just a little bit of a slow is good enough. And I dealt with this lane. You empower the Lena, and she hits for an extra like 6 or 7 damage with that Fiery Soul. It racks up. Usually they'll go like the Blightstone on the Lena.
Yeah, because this, as you're saying, you're sort of assuming this will be what, the 3 Lena with the 4
The thing is, I say that it gives them this dual lane, but if Brame manages to present this safe lane that says, that might do pretty well against that, then they can always rotate either of these heroes out of there. And that's
Sumail
why
can play
I see
either
it.
of these in the mid.
You could technically be mag 2, 3, or 5.
Yep.
And the Lina could be 4 or 2. A lot of options.
Or 5? No?
It could be lane, safe lane, but Lina like always gets farm, right?
Yeah.
I'll be a little bit surprised if Insania played
If Insania played Lina, it would basically be like second in net worth at like, 30 minutes in the game, because that's just how Insania plays Rubik and such. Second net worth on the team, not on the game.
Yeah.
All right, we got an Earth Spirit coming out from Brame and a Phoenix. Earth Spirit, of course, one for Stomana to set a very high tempo, and that does mean that Spartan is probably going to be the one playing the Phoenix.
They ban out all the traditional mag synergies. Might want to consider Life Stealer against the Phoenix, maybe a Troll.
Yeah, both of those very strong. I mean, where does sort of the PA threat fall? PA Magnus, is that not as high tier
I don't think
as the
I would
others?
want PA into those two supports.
Sure.
It's like you can always pick it, right? Because PA Mag is probably the most innately broken of all the combos. But I think if you can, there's a lot of options for carry that you can pick that kind of don't get ganked by those two picks so far from Brame. And PA, I think, could suffer quite early to all that magic damage.
That's a really cool mug.
Which one?
The one that Jabs is holding? I mean, you
Sure,
can't see it
Gabs.
properly anymore. He was just drinking from it. It's like a really nice, cozy to-hold style mug with like a little rounded on the edges here. So like, we see it here in the background.
We've got an Oracle ban
I
out.
see it, yeah.
Obviously something that can help very nicely against the Phoenix pressure in lane. Like I said, the carriage. Actually, Liquid ban out the Troll themselves. So not something they were thinking about slipping into their lineup.
Seeing Sumail in Liquid outfit is just so foreign, I feel like. It's not that it's like there's something wrong with it. It just
It's just been a while since we've seen him in a jersey.
right?
Really
At all,
official
exactly.
capacity.
Hey,
yeah.
Blitz! There's everyone. The whole gang's here.
Yep. The duo coach squad.
It's weird. Blitz actually being at the boot camp rather than at the caster's desk while his team's playing. that was the joke going all on last year.
Yeah.
During COVID, he was at all the events.
We've got Ember. Also starting to maybe open up some of the mid lane opportunities. I mean, if you're banning Ember, does that sort of say to you you're not going to put the Lina mid? Because you wouldn't really care if there's an Ember in your lane if you're Lina, right? So it's probably leaning away from
I
that,
guess
getting
so.
something else for some.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Ember's one of the
Storm is
better
still in the
ones,
pool.
though. Ember is one of the better ones. You can gank with the Earth Spirit, and you can also close the gap on Lina later on in the game.
Yeah, I do agree. I do think there's a chance it's maybe opening up for the Storm. I think Ember is one of those heroes that Sumail himself has said it's just not a matchup that he wants to play Storm against. The chains are very irritating. It stops you from really being able to go for that Orchid or that that straight aggressive build-up that Sumail would love to do. So
I love this Abaddon pick. I was thinking like all these trolls that are left in the pool, they ban Troll, but like all these heroes like Troll that can't really protect themselves. It's so good against the Fire Spirits, all the dots from Phoenix, all the dots from Earth Spirit. It's just gonna make your carry pool a lot more versatile and not like the game of the carry can't just get ruined is how I kind of look at this pick. It's protecting the pick from becoming useless, the later ones. So they might be able to just fourth pick their carry here if they feel comfortable.
I mean, I still agree with what you're saying earlier. The Life Stealer being there definitely seems to be the one that sticks out the most.
But with the Abaddon pick, you might pick a less defensive carry.
Okay.
I'm saying
So
Life Stealer without Abaddon would be good with like a Grimstroke or like a CM, something aggressive.
But with an Abaddon, what do you want to say? I mean, something like a Gyrocopter?
Yeah, honestly, you don't need a melee hero if it is a spread damage hero, like Gyro or Medusa. I don't think that's necessarily what I would look for, but Ursa comes to mind when they pick Centaur. Slark comes to mind here.
He does.
The Abaddon.
Yeah, and you don't like the PA anymore? The Mag PA? Is that dead?
I don't hate PA here.
Okay.
Well, now that you've got the
I would
Abaddon.
love a hero that threatens the Centaur. I think people have underestimated the ability to actually threaten a Centaur with a carry. Because once he gets Vanguard, any hero that doesn't have a damage passive is going to literally hit for 0 damage. So you can pick PA, you're just surrendering your safe lane, which is fine. We've seen plenty of PAs just recover in the triangle. We saw that last game in the last series. I usually don't like Slark, but I would actually be down for it here.
They're taking their time.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they went sort of all in on like a draft around the PA. Yeah, so make a. What about this? If they do finish up, if they want to, maybe have either the mag or the Lina as the support mid, one of those two, and then you finish off with a Slardar on the offlane.
I don't think you go Slardar against Morph.
Okay.
I don't think it's terrible. Morph actually kind of struggles if you have too much single target focus, meaning, you know, Slardar minus armor usually not that good against high armor heroes, but the thing is that I would rather have a hero that goes in first for this lineup than a hero that like buffs up the PA. I think you've kind of like got the PA on lock. She's protected by the Abaddon. She's buffed up by the mag. Just have a fight starter. Have somebody that's going to create some chaos. Because right now, I don't really think you never want to lead with RP. So if you're not leading with RP, then what? Usually the god tier RPs are set up because there's some guy that goes in, forces 3 people to focus him for a second, and then the mag RPs. They don't have that yet.
Do you think it's any clearer what way Liquid's leaning with who's going to be going mid, who's going to be going offlane in terms of heroes? Like, what are they saving to last here? They're saving Sumail's hero to last?
Yeah, they're saving Sumail's, man.
You don't think it was just the Lina?
You're not giving him Lina into Centaur. It's not like, obviously you're not laning against the Centaur. It's like the idea that as a core Lina, if they have a Centaur, they're just going to jump you with 3 heroes at the same time and kill you.
So what do you want to play? You're Sumail, you get 10th pick. Is it 10th pick overall?
I would pick Tiny here if I were Sumail.
Tiny. Sumail Tiny.
We got a Razor ban.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a hero that stuns, but it does. Like Razor would have been fine in the sense that it's a hero that runs in. They also could think that that's like an offlane Razor or something. I don't think mid Razor last pick really concerns me.
So you're thinking that in this lineup it will be Magnus played by Koikfa?
I think so.
Okay.
It's like a mid lane hero in the offlane.
Yeah,
it is.
What I mean? Like, I think it's probably what they're gonna do.
I would just be a bit surprised because at least if you go off the public data that we've seen recently from Quake for when he's been practicing the offlane, the 4 offlaners that he's been playing are Darkseer, Slardar, Sand King, and Necrophos. That's what he's been playing in pubs on the offlane.
I see.
So if it is, it's something that he's not been showing publicly.
Okay, I don't hate Slardar. I just because he is a hero that goes in. I don't mind it. We still haven't mentioned the Brood since the start of the draft. That's still there. They don't really deal with the spiders at all.
But that would mean that it will be Sumail and the Lina.
No, or the Magnus.
Or the Magnus, I guess. Yes, sure. Magnus could be too.
We have seen some Mags mid again recently.
Yeah, Brood would probably be a bit awkward, actually. Because usually with Brood, you want a roaming 4. You want somebody who gives the Brood solo levels.
Viper ban?
Yeah, they're banning out Koikfa heroes, so they clearly think this is a mid Lina. Those are not Sumail heroes.
No.
Yeah, it's looking like a nice tiny game, though. Or, hear me out.
Yeah.
Sumail Mirana. Against the Phoenix.
I believe he was playing that a week ago in his pubs.
Okay. Just saying, it doesn't really do the whole go in first thing, but I wouldn't put it past them to just say, hey, Sumail, go and style on these. Okay, never mind. Not Mirana against TA. Never mind. That's why they banned Razor Viper. That makes a lot more sense.
So what are you picking against the Viper? So you don't want to put the Lina in?
Yeah.
Do you really want to put the Mag? You want to get something else?
Wow, look at all these bans.
Hey, by the way.
Pugna Huskar also banned?
Yeah, Puck is still in the pool. I don't know if it's good, but I know that Liquid plays it a lot.
It's so hard to think with the... It's going to be really obvious when they pick it.
What about Invoker? Just get the Sumail Invoker out. You've got someone else to buff up the TA. You've got good catch, good setup, and a lot of these heroes are going to have a really nasty time if they get a bit of their mana burned.
How about Lesh?
Ooh, yeah, you said it before we heard it.
I said it.
You said it.
I'm like, the thing is, you're listing off all these heroes, and the thing is, when you picked Invoker, you emphasize it's another hero to buff PA. They're not going to pick something that buffs the PA. They're going to pick something that Sumail's going to carry the F out of this game. And I actually like Lesh a lot here because they have very limited catch early, and Lesh's vulnerable stage is like 7 to 15 minutes where he hit his level 6. He doesn't have a defensive item and a mana item yet. And that's when you're supposed to punish this hero. If he's allowed to go farm, I think he actually does this job better than TA because he can kill the TA with a +1, but TA cannot kill him. So I love this pick. Dude, Sumail Lesh, that one TI5, I'm ready.
You think that this sealed the deal for Team Liquid?
I think it's a sick Lesh pick. I think the hero's situational, but right now, like, this pick is sick. I love it.
How about you, Owen?
I gotta agree. I think it's pretty hard to go against the Sumail Lesh, a hero picked when he's seen everything ahead of him, the final pick of the draft. He's gonna have some confidence, and as Brian says, you know, it's one of those heroes that Sumail he'll just carry the game on. So I think it could be one of those games where Liquid do nice things around him, Sumail pops off, and the Lesh it's going to be a bit of a difficulty for Brame to deal with. But I'm looking forward to see what Brame can bring against him. But Sumail, he's back. He's on his mid-Lesh. Good luck.
And for Brame to be successful in this game, Brian, is there one thing in specific or timing that you're looking for?
If they get a couple crucial kills on Sumail early, he's the space mag for this mag PA. So they could immediately collapse the map on PA through that, I think.
And Earth Spirit is definitely a hero to do that with, right?
Earth Spirit's the one we should be looking out for.
All right, Stomana's got his work cut out for him, I believe, here for this first game of the best of 3. Should be a very exciting match, and for exciting matches, we have exciting people to talk about the game, and we are ready to head over to Cap and Kyle for that.
Yes, thank you, Sheever. There may be 2 other teams in the server, 9 other players, but the story of this game is the king back. Will he manage to reclaim his throne, or is the best behind him? Kyle, he's going to be playing mid for Liquid.
Of course he's going to be playing mid. It's funny enough, I was texting him 2 weeks ago. I'm like, you got to stay good. You know, some team might pick you up soon. You're not even playing. He's like, bro, I don't play. I'm still top 5.
Yeah, that's the signature Sumail cockiness right there.
This is the man. This is the king. He's on his staple, the hero that arguably won EG, that TI 5 grand final.
Yep.
Because you had to ban it against this man, and Cheeky couldn't beat him with it.
Yeah.
Who was the only player at that TI to beat Sumail in the laning phase?
I think I remember. It happened early on in the tournament, right? It was, I think, upper... it was in the upper bracket, right? I think it was the first round, maybe?
Something like that.
I think they might have played Complexity. Was that it?
They did. I got text evidence. I'll pull it up on screen later.
Kyle is showing me his WhatsApp conversation with Sumail.
He's got nightmares.
All I saw was nightmares.
Now that I've retired, he can come out and look to dominate. But this will be tough. Brame has looked good. Yeah, they came out of the lower division, but they've been working hard. They've been boot camping, and they looked really good against Tundra in their opening match of the season.
Yeah, speaking of which, Sumail, the last time he played was obviously on that Just Error team. That team did not do so well. In fact, their final match was against Yellow Submarine, which they lost. But the 2 best ones before that was a win against Alliance and a win against Tundra.
Yeah, those teams are certainly no slouches.
No.
But we'll see. The thing I like about Liquid's lineup is that they left the Phoenix and got the Lina early. I think this is probably the go-to counter because it's arguably the best egg hitter just because the range is so much. It's not much higher than a Snapfire, but it's definitely noticeable. And I think it was, I was talking to my brother about this. This 4-position Lina is definitely back because you just output so much pressure into this off lane.
So when it comes to Phoenix egg counters from the 4 position, Lina, Snapfire, what about Mirana? Where do you rate those 3? You had to give them a number.
I think Lina is certainly number 1, especially after the changes to Fiery Soul, because even as a support now, it's much easier to keep those stacks going. But man, what a blast from a pass watching this mid lane. Leshrac versus TA. We have not seen that in some time. TA considered a dead hero by many people, but it's been getting a lot of play in China. So I think that, especially after the dominance at the major, more people are looking to that region for draft and hero meta inspiration.
And it does seem to be peaking back bit by bit. I think we've seen it at least once in the Eastern European division. Not sure if we've seen it in the Western European division just yet, but why is it back? What made it bad before?
Well, you certainly can't dominate the lane nearly as hard now that refraction damage doesn't work on denies. Okay. I think more emphasis on ancient stacks and ancient farming this patch has pushed it up, but it's Roche. Like, TA's still good for the same reasons she's always been good. It's a heavy minus armor, a Roche taker, tower hitter, real high tempo. Just kind of disappears.
Pulls it back. Spartan is still not level 2. He's going to throw out the last Fire Spirits, but the damage is done. Koifa picks up the first blood. And we may not have really talked about him too much, but his appearance in the off lane. Koifa has primarily been a mid laner for most of his career. though he has played offlane every once in a while, and obviously Liquid especially like to move people around and shuffle them about.
He's I think in at least the honeymoon period, mid's going offlane is kind of spooky just because their laning phase is typically much better than carries. Like there's a, you know, if you watch streams even of mid players and compare their laning to carries, you know, like I was watching BSJ stream earlier as an example. He's missing CS under tower. You don't see this from a mid player like Koifa. They know that
That's
tower
true.
like the back of their hand.
That's true. I think it's a little unfair to compare them to BSJ, but, you know, it's fair enough.
Similar MMR.
Skylark is going to be doing a little bit of pulling shenanigans here to try and make this lane work, because it does seem like the 5-position Ben that, speaking of BSJ, I know he loved this pick quite a lot, is being rather effective at being super disruptive to both the Eurospirit and Centaur.
Yeah, Mickey is pretty much free farming, and now, they might go for a kill.
You're going to try again here. No dive available. Taiga is going to keep running at him. No, he decides against it. He maybe could have tried for another LSA, but the Morphling represents too much of a threat. Snowman, the dagger will finish him off. Mickey, not only is he free farming, but now he's picked up a kill as well.
Yeah, Liquid winning all 3 lanes right now. Mid is also a straight-up disaster for Wish. He's forced to go farm his camp because Sumail's doing a great job keeping hill control. The CS is a bit deceiving because he just picked up like 9 neutrals on the easy camp.
Oh no, that's enough. The skewer, he did not expect that shockwave into LSA.
Definitely. He skipped in power too, which I imagine he would notice because it hasn't been cast yet. But that's a real cool decision by Koifa. That's a lot of magical burst combined with Alina.
I think what's always interesting is when mid laners transfer over to one of these side lanes, they always pick up mid lane heroes anyway. You can see Koifa showing off his mid Magnus here in the side lane and doing quite well at it.
The other big shift is when you see mid players go to support, like when Fada first swapped over and he was playing the same heroes he'd play core, notably Jakiro, like whenever possible.
Yeah. Did you do that, Kyle? You went from mid to off lane to support. Oh! Charge on in. This time focus. He's level 3, so as long as he gets the button off, Sumail is making his way back here. He's surrounded by so many heroes. Insania completes the TP, and they have to give up on the chase, and Sumail's going to turn right back around and stand, deliver,
You
and
come for
gets
the king?
kill.
You cannot come for the king with such a feeble offering. Nice TP by Insania. Rune spawning, not right. Just kidding, no runes.
No rune.
It's really hard to get used to that.
Yeah.
Although I do like... Oh, is that another kill? Oh my god.
What?
Taiga.
What is happening here? Taiga sneaks in another LSA that gets the kill onto focus.
That's Lina buffs in action. He's just hitting so many stuns with no setup.
But yes, I find it harder later on into the game.
Yeah.
Standing at a bounty rune at 25 minutes.
Yeah, every time.
And I was like, wait a minute, 25 is not a multiple of 3.
I like it though because I think it's the nighttime phase shift is enough of a change. Like I like that there's no bounty rune spawns on the clock change.
Right.
Nice deny. Man, Liquid is just firing on all cylinders, all 3 lanes with a pretty nice lead.
Is this supposed to be happening? Is this Liquid looking really good, or is this their draft? They set themselves up for really good lanes? What is
a bit of both, I would say. I know
Yeah.
they've been working hard because Insania and Blitz have stopped playing Mafia, so you know that they're taking it seriously. But I don't think I think that they answered what Brame had in mind. Like this Lina against Phoenix is certainly proving effective. The Leshrac last pick. Up top, I would think that the Centaur would be doing better, but that's the power of the Abaddon 5. You just give the level advantage, stack camps.
Yeah.
An Insania special.
And Brame having a rough time. They went and started this season really well by being able to get that 2-0 against Tundra. And potentially set themselves up to be one of the teams that does stay in the upper division. But in order to really make sure of that, they've got to take down another win against one of the bigger teams. And Liquid would certainly be potentially their best target to aim at, right? Just because new player, stand-in of all things. You're hoping that they're a bit off their game, that they're not the same Liquid that sometimes shows up and does really well.
You would think Liquid is just probably the definition of inconsistent. Sometimes they look so good, you're like, damn, this team is going to win a major sometime soon. And other times, you're like, why are you giggling?
I know Blitz is listening to the cast right now, and I know he hates you.
Oh.
he loathes people calling Liquid inconsistent, but I'm not going to disagree with you on performance.
We will. I mean, we'll take feedback. You can shoot us a mail.
Yeah, maybe we could show a William Lee tweet maybe later on in the show.
Hey, well, shout out to the Liquid, the group, and especially the Liquid chef. You're the real MVP. You should ask for a raise and shout out, because I'm jelly because they all get to watch in their big room, like the TV screen.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those.
Big difference between giant org like Liquid and Brame, but at least Brame has a boot camp going on.
It's true.
Yes, Kyle?
Nothing. I just, if only they had a chef. That's really what's missing.
Okay.
Ooh. Nice rollout. And this is where the game slows down for Liquid, but they got to be content with this. Bear in mind, this is, I mean, he might have skipped in power to start the laning phase, but this is Mag PA. Like, this is unbelievably strong at scaling. They've got tons of stun lock on top of it. I love playing Mag with Lina because a 2-man RP, you get a double RP off of it because the Lina stun's always going to land. And Brame really need more momentum. Their TA specifically has got to come online quick. They need that mid tower. They need Roche. I like what Wish has planned. It looks like he's going to be rushing the Blink Dagger, but I don't agree with 3 points Blade if that's the route. I think that the Blink build's most effective with Max Meld at that same timing.
Would you say that Insania kicked up, couldn't quite put him on top of the cliff there, but he's still going to be run down. Insania probably thinking, worth it. 3 heroes here. I still got the last hit on the ward for 135 gold, and Mickey now knows that he should probably play a bit safe. Would you say a lineup like Brame's, the fact that they've got like 2 cores, this Morphling and Templar Assassin, that it is important for lanes to go well, right? Because both of your cores can't default to jungle.
I mean, look at the issue is that Morph has just thoroughly been dumpstered, and really more than the TA, that's your win condition, especially with an Earth Spirit. We've seen teams in Asia first to Morph ES for this reason, for the double Spirit roll-in and just an unbelievable amount of stun lock potential. Nice play from Sumail, just backed up by Insania on a bad and easy pressure on the tier 1.
Does a hefty amount of damage.
You're getting bottom for free as this occurs. This is the trouble when you lose one lane so hard. The entire rest of the game, your whole squad has to play catch up, and they bleed out advantage in the lane that is now abandoned. Because it's not just the Koifa Mag free farming. Taiga's also free to stack, the farm. He has TP ready if they try to dive top.
So it does mean that Brame is going to have a lot of pressure on, I think, this man right here, Skylark, the lane that did go well. And he is also the playmaker. Our TA still needs that Blink Dagger, as you were talking about. Skylark's got to be able to exert some pressure somewhere on the map.
Yeah, the trouble is you saw Purge give that breakdown of why minus armor is less effective against Vanguard, but that's for the early phase of the game. This Deso timing is going to be very quick, and it actually works against you that you have this Vanguard instead of plus armor once PA's minus takes you to negatives, which it will do once he hits that talent.
Silence going off, immediately removed by the Aphotic Shields, and we're getting a good old classic 3-on-3 mid lane. Both teams posturing to try and take the mid tower. That is not going to be enough. And now Spartan just goes ahead, goes for the dive, the jump in. Liquid turning around to go for the kill onto the egg, and they will manage to do so, but they lost Taiga in the process. 1-for-1 exchange with the Stampede going off, getting Wish out of that stun. But unfortunately for Stominen, Mickey shows up, a 4th member into this. Skylark's got to get out of here.
He's in trouble.
1 for 2, maybe even a 3rd, but Skylark proves to be a bit too tanky for the— Koifa missing the RP. Wish barely managing to blink away just in time. 2 near-death experiences there for Wish, but he survives through them both.
That was wild. Yeah, that would have been a huge kill. You saw Liquid, Koifa called out that he had the RP, but the blink away just in time. They repositioned to the river, expecting the skewer down. That would have been 100% an execution of the TA, but he actually saves his Centaur too by juking that, because they could have also continued. I believe Sumail was in Yul's range, would have been able to follow up with the stun quite easily. But alas, I think if the Phoenix Egg maybe let the dive swing you back just a little bit, If you get that egg off, I think that's a much more decisive fight win. And here's the TA strength, just farming the Ancients.
Done very well for himself. The only camp stacked being by him. And he's managed to claw himself to the top of the net worth chart by quite a hefty amount. Skylark, though, second in net worth for Brame, is going for a desperate TPL, but it will not be successful.
That was all Fairy's Trinket right there. That little bit of extra damage thanks to the spell damage and mana cost reduction. Absolutely broken tier 1 item, especially on a hero like Leshrac. Plus the 100 health, because why not?
Yeah.
You'd probably still have it equipped, but take the health anyway.
3-8, a 3,000 net worth lead for Team Liquid right now. And
feeling good?
Feeling good and not too much pressure, would you say, on them?
This is chill. I like the way that they're utilizing their positioning around the map. Like, Insania, you know, Sumail, he hasn't played professionally in a while, so Insania is doing a good job holding his hand. You know, don't worry about it. You might get ganked. I'm here. I got the heals. I got the shield. And they're also defending the most valuable area of the map.
I like how they're both teams have a similar concept here, which is they are putting the hero in mid lane that can solo pressure the tower, and it forces response, right? Yep. You kind of always have to have somebody standing there, otherwise your mid tower is just going to die to retaliation or die
this is the right move from Liquid. Just get the smoke around, collapse on this mid tower. Every team will tell you this is the most important objective to take in Dota 2. They want the Phoenix if they can. That effectively removes Brame's
smoke's going to break, and look at this defensive ward they have. They know, but they also know where the Phoenix is. They managed to get the skewer, a 2-man RP, the roll in, but Snowman can't stop this damage that flows through. Sumail gets the double kill, make it the tower. Immediate buyback from Spartan, but they still can't take the fight. After all, they lost their core centaurs, so even with a buyback, they're just going to have to walk away.
Really great job there. Shout out to Taiga. Excellent stun. Picks the spot where he expects the Phoenix to be. I think they saw him on the high ground vision, and at least they saw him move into the trees, so a bit more than a guess, but either way, nice setup. Koifa then the skewer to grab the double RP, and this is the trouble, is that right now, Brame, they don't have the team fight to answer a blink RP. There's no real counter initiation. Sure, you can roll in, but the actions from Liquid are going to happen far too quick for you to be able to make a proper defensive posturing. Like, how do you respond? There's no interrupt on the Lesh stun, which means all these heroes are dead. Way too much burst, especially with the PA going Deso.
Okay, so now they've lost this mid tower. What does that give Liquid?
It just opens the map.
Yeah.
See how aggressive they're.
All of a sudden, they're in deep, and Spartan, his last shots, not quite enough.
So the movement here from Insane and Sumail, it's effectively the same as when they were posturing in front of their tier 1. They're still controlling the same area, but in this case, they're able to get a lot more vision and pressure, and if they farm creeps or steal creep waves, it's on enemy side, and then they take enemy jungle. So just a product of taking this tower makes it much easier for them to choke out Brame's resources on the map, force TA into that top triangle, Morph left only with top lane. 70% of the map is now there. Still, Brame not out of it, but they need a good fight. They need to use this egg. They have a Deso timing on TA approaching rapidly, and the E-Blade on Morph, though I'm not sure who he'll really gun for. It's really just Taiga that he can target.
Yeah. Sad part of being down this much net worth usually means the cores have their prerequisite items to survive through any kind of burst like that.
Dude, I should have picked more bad when I was playing. This is so chill.
Yeah.
Insane is just, I got you, bro. That's it.
Where do you want to go next, Sumail? All right.
He's like, all I know is, Sumail, you're confirmed town, and I've got you covered.
And Mickey manages to get a solo kill on Spartan, but Brame is kind of feeling like they got to make a move here. They're getting picked apart around the map, and it's getting smaller and smaller. They're going to run into Insania here. Insania with the TP out. They don't know quite where the smoke broke until it's too late.
You see, Brame, they know the pit is their play. They have egg. They've got the Stampede. You need to fight on your terms when possible, and they can Zerg the Roche down fast enough to force a response, but it's very cautious. You can see the scan comes out. Like, Liquid are very aware of the script that this game will play out.
Nobody being in there for now. Stack by Taiga as the 17-minute mark. We have the second round of neutral items available.
God, there's so many. I was like, are you saying ruins? That's not divisible by 3.
Yeah, no, there's other things to worry about.
I was watching old VODs the other day. It is insane how much simpler the game was.
Yeah.
Like all of neutral items, talents, map changes, all of it didn't used to be.
And one thing that actually made the game somewhat simpler in a very small way was stats being taken away. But now that's another option you can have.
Why not?
Skylark, he may be tanky. Can he survive through all of this one? The Stampede, they're trying to burn out with a little bit of Sun Ray to help him, and he just barely getting away out. He's good. Koifa, the shot coming in from him, but the miscoil helps protect him. Brame, explosion from the Yegg, and that's going to be a big one, but her RP goes out from Koifa. A 3-man dude with a 2-man kill from Taiga. Wish turns around and delivers some damage on Sumail. It's just enough to be able to get the kill. Stominen gets out with his life, but Liquid claimed the fight around Roshan, and there's a double damage sitting there for Mickey to do Roshan.
That was so sick from Koifa. Barely escapes, comes back in, 3-man RP. Love the confidence as well from Sumail. He's low. You're going to watch him posture so that he's in a position, always at the front of the team fight, trusting in Insanity to keep him alive, and that 3-man stun is what actually confirms those kills. Don't have time
back into it though. Stominen, he tried to go for a cheeky Aegis steal. Sadly, his timing was a bit off, and as a result, 4-15 now, 7,000 net worth lead for Liquid, and now an Aegis on Mickey. Oh my god.
So the DD helps, but that's minus armor against a hero that only has the 10 armor. He even has a casual Ring of Protection. The trouble is, like, Vanguard, yeah, it blocks 70 damage, but that becomes less and less impactful when PA crits start getting into the 4 digits.
Yeah. Now they're taking their Ancient stack. Like, this is the nightmare for Brame. They don't get the Aegis. And now Liquid can operate with that kind of confidence and play inside your triangle. Now you've got a TA and Morphling who don't have simple, good areas to farm. As you could see, them scrambling around here. Liquid making a push forward with that Aegis. They're going to roll in. They go to the back line. They immediately execute Taiga. And might be able to catch Koifa as well. No, they decide he's a bit too tanky. They want to get away from Mickey here if possible. Stominen, he's going to be the victim. Mickey's assault in the back line, though. They manage to catch Sumail. Sumail moves forward, and Skylark immediately catches him out. A buyback coming in from Stominen. They see this and say, Liquid only have 3 here. Even if it's an Aegis, maybe we can still do something. Apparently, the rest of the team disagrees, though, with Stominen's assessment.
That's the second support buyback for a fight. Like, Brame's just a little too itchy on the trigger. I understand why you want to get back into the fight, but there's no mid tower. There's nowhere for you to go, and without an Earth Spirit, no Stampede, Brame legitimately have no catch. So Liquid can pretty easily just disengage. There's nobody forcing them to stay in melee range.
To be fair, which would you rather have, though? A person who is a little bit too eager to use their buyback.
You got to buy back.
Yeah.
You know, it's better to err on the side of buying back than not doing so.
Fair.
Even go to like the one game OG lost to TI9. You know, Ana, my bad, because he just didn't buy back on Spectre.
Yeah.
They throned him. Like, oops.
Well, Wish. He needs that item real badly, the BKB. So it's a good thing they got a little skirmish that sort of went their way. Found themselves a bit of map to farm on.
Yeah, the curious thing is this TA pick, because I don't really consider it a counter to the PA. You need an MKB, but the trouble is, as a Templar Assassin, you need Blink Deso BKB as core items every game. You can make an argument skipping Blink for like a Dragon Lance. I've seen that used in China a couple times, but it's just a weird selection. And when you fall behind, the game gets real difficult because Liquid feel no pressure and are just eating your map. And like, he's alone. Mickey's just walking in, scaring everyone, killing a Phoenix.
Yeah, and he's still got 2 minutes left with the Aegis, so he can keep doing that with pretty much no recompense from Brame. Satanic next for him, so even as his Aegis goes down, he'll still have that form of a second life.
I wonder how good this Leshrac shard is. 3 stun, not 2 extra, 3 extra stuns.
So
you just stun on top of the PA and chill.
I asked actually Sumail about both those things. And I believe he said Aghanim Scepter as well. He said the Aghanim Scepter was garbage.
Yes.
And I think maybe it wasn't him, but somebody said the shard is good. It just requires you to either have a lot of stuns or be defending high ground, right? Once you're able to, if you defend high ground with that shard, really nice. Dominant. Oh no, the Yules is here. He may have silenced up Sumail, but it's only a bit of a timeout before his death inevitably comes.
And then there's just a PA pushing mid with a incredibly strong offensive threat in the RP, and then Insania still just holding his core's hands, hanging out. Going for his very own Melk award. Needs to up those death counts, though.
Yeah. Only 2 deaths.
What did Melk go? Was 0-17? I watched Free to Play.
I believe it's 22 is the magic number, but it's been a long time.
Have you seen, because Free to Play just got on Netflix, and it is insane to see how young everybody is.
Yeah.
Like, and it's also crazy how many people, a decade ago they make this documentary, and yet Cinderin, Misery, Dandy, Fear, like these guys are all still here and still playing. Yep. Well, except for Cinderin, but he's playing.
He's playing.
I'm a subscriber. 8-month badge.
What happened 8 months ago?
I lost a bet.
Oh. Spartan. Oh, this guy needs level 12 real bad. Oh, God.
no.
Oh, God. Get out of there, Spartan. He throws fire spirits. Oh, no, Spartan, no.
I love it. I love the Shadow Amulet with the Sunray still going. They'll never find me. And the Liquid are just hunting now. They smell blood in the water. Constant map rotations. And they move so quick, too. Oh, we don't need to see it again.
Half his health
15-11
gone
crit.
just from Cleaves. Panics. Dives away. Throws damage on the creeps, hoping to be able to kill the wave. But it doesn't, like Kyle, it doesn't look to me like Liquid is necessarily going to go high ground. I don't feel like...
they need Roche for that. They're just chilling.
They're just...
This is how you got to close out a game nowadays, though. Like, going high ground, especially with the ease of buybacking, got cheaper last patch, just no point. Just chill. Get Aegis, get yourself level 20 on as many heroes as you can. The second Roche with the free shard, I think, is just huge.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we're trying to make part of the reason Roshan is getting more and more items to give away is basically saying, hey, look at all this stuff you got.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try hitting high ground with it.
It forces you to fight around the pit as well. It's another reason I think you've seen so much PA, so much Slardars coming back. This minus armor concept might not work on buildings necessarily, but on Roche.
Wish. It's a good idea. It's one way to be able to try and split push a lane. Just laying traps everywhere, but Insania with a very early gem pickup has been finding all of those, and now he's going to find Spartan. Spartan canceling the stun ray, but he can't get away from Mickey. Taigo, what happened to you?
What happened? Yeah. Wish must have tapped him.
Yeah, Focus gave him the old shotgun.
Well, they have a BKB on TA. That's helpful. The trouble is that right now, love Mickey's itemization. The Satanic build fell off a bit, but with a mag, you don't need Battle Fury. You get the status resist, you get survivability. He's now not a target. Leshrac has a Yules. They have a Baden to prevent burst. And really, the trouble with Brame's draft is that both of their carries are burst-centered. They don't really have sustained DPS. And when you have an RP and a shield, it's pretty tough to confirm a kill on a core. Especially when they're this tanky.
They know, and they're going to be able to find Taiga. 1 stun, 2 stun. Dead Lina is the outcome.
I cursed him.
Yeah. The other side of the map, Liquid will take a final tier 2. I assume. Maybe not. Maybe they're a little scared.
Playing it safe. Sumail's coming into the top wave, though, so they're probably just going to wait for him. You don't want to be too aggressive. Roshan is spawning in 5 seconds, so a throw here would be catastrophic.
Yeah, good opportunity for Brame to be able to take this game back. You got to take some risks here, and maybe it's a good opportunity for them to 5-man just kind of run at Liquid and see what happens.
Wish is very low on mana, though. He's got to be cautious here.
Yeah.
He's got enough for a refraction, not even a meld. He has the shard. Did we talk about that yet?
No.
It is not great. It replaced, there was a talent, would that increase your trap count?
Yeah.
If I'm mistaken?
Yeah.
They put it on the shard. It also silences now based on the trap duration. I don't know how effective that'll be here. I know Waga, under no circumstances, goes anything but Ags.
Skylark charging through. They're going to go for it. The RP locks down 2, and Focus is sitting on the side here, having a hard time putting the damage on Electric. The Bloodstone just healed him back up the fall. 1,600 damage crit from Mickey. Takes out Wish. Spartan's going to fall as well. They're hunting the last man.
That was a 3-man RP, Cap.
Yeah.
I didn't see them. They were stacked so hard on top of each other, and then, yeah, GG. That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
GG. That's the trouble with the PA. You have a BKB, so what? You're still going to get RP'd. If they don't get the mag, they're done for, and there we go. The King returns undefeated.
It's a start. I'm not going to hail him as being back and truly the king of mid lane until we see him and the rest of Liquid against some of the other teams in the field, but for now, in this game against Brame, he and the rest of Liquid did look very strong. And again, Brame did manage to bring down Tundra. I think they're a team that has some momentum coming into this upper division. So it's a win that is important, no doubt.
This is not really a skill gap necessarily. Liquid did win their lanes. They played great, better, sure, but I think this is more of a strategical error. You're outmatched in your laning phase. You don't have a late game win condition. And Liquid just have answers for everything that you're trying to do. I think it all starts with the opener. Liquid give away the Phoenix. They take the Lina, the Mag PA. Like, it's just a stronger power level on paper.
And the lanes that were set up as well, right? Like, ultimately, at the end of the draft, felt like they had 3 winning lanes. And Liquid, well, they just executed well and secured that kind of advantage, something that Brame is going to be looking to offset heading into Game 2, maybe with a different draft. But we, of course, have the panel to break that entire thing down. It's back over to them.
Yeah, let's bounce back over to us. Just like Owen and BSJ are bouncing about right now. I don't know what's going on here, but we're going to talk about what was going on in that game very soon. See you after the break. The first game of this best-of-3 series between Brame and Team Liquid easily goes the way of Team Liquid here in the upper division of the Western European DPC League. You're watching DreamLeague Season 15, powered by Intel, and this was the return of the King, or at least first time we saw Sumail in action again after quite a while. He's, of course, standing in for Team Liquid as Boxy is having a leave. But Sumail fit in quite nicely in this game. I want to start this analysis, though not in the mid lane. OD Pixel and BSJ, I want to start on the off lane because Focus, the Morphling on Team Brame, did not have a game, Brian.
Yeah, I said it in the opening about the Magdalena. I don't know as a carry player what I would pick. Morphling struggles to win the lane against those two heroes just like anyone else, but he also relies on winning the lane. The Morphling is a hero that's meant to control that area, take it over, threaten the offlaner out, and he doesn't flash farm jungle camps. He flash farms by virtue of shutting down the opponent, and he just wasn't able to do that and really struggled in the early stages. Yeah,
and was there anything they could do with the Phoenix Morph lane, or is that just not... Like, should they have laned it differently, maybe? Put it elsewhere?
I agree, but I don't know. I don't know what you do when you're sort of having to play that matchup that you sort of doubt yourself. You knew that there was a leaner in the game. You still want to run with the Morph. You're going to have a rough time. And, of course, you know, Tiger and Quakefor, they really pushed that to the limit, getting the 2 kills on him very early on in the laning stage. And, you know, as much as, you know, Sumail absolutely fitting back in and popping off in the mid lane, I was very impressed with what Quakefor was doing from the off lane. As we said, it is something that we've seen before, of course. They've always had this versatility, Liquid. But Quakefor gave it a solid showing. And, you know, he's much more than some of the off lane Magnuses we see that sort of fall back and just become like an empower bot. He wasn't that this game. He was having big impact with it, with his catches in the team fights throughout.
Yeah, and Purge is going to break down exactly why the lane worked out the way it did.
Thanks, Shiver. What was really cool about this lane for Liquid was the pivot towards Meg using nukes and not necessarily just being a right-click hero. And as a result, it makes Lina, who's already a pretty good 4 right now, even better. She gets to start Ring of Basilius, which not only gives her a lot of mana, but also gives Meg a lot of mana over the course of the laning stage. And as soon as they get there, they put their spells on cooldown and start getting right-clicks and nukes in. Spartan had some issues with his resources. Here's his salve being popped. This gets interrupted about 50% of the way through. That costs them some resources and makes their lane a little bit harder. And the whole time, Taiga is constantly right-clicking opponents. And Lightstrike Ray has a pretty low cooldown, so it's pretty much always ready to be used here. Spartan getting caught as Liquid hits level 2. This is the first blood that we ended up seeing. Skewer doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but that plus the right clicks is enough to get the kill. Phoenix ends up dying. Taiga ends up barely staying alive. Focus gets pressured a little bit on the way back. And when he comes back to lane, what ends up happening is Smart says, here you go, buddy. Go get healed up. And Quakefor, anticipating this, plays near the area, goes for the shockwave snipe, and interrupts another salve. This one really early here for Focus. It costs him 2 salves to basically do the work of just 1 to help offset that. And then things keep going bad as they continue to put all their force into the same guy. Spartan here getting shockwave, getting right-clicked, he's being pressured. Taiga backs up at the same time, but all of this just buys more and more time as Taiga waits for the opportunity. Here's that first blood that ends up happening, focused on anticipating the stun and the level 2 shockwave, plus the skewer damage, way more damage than Magnuses normally have. And here's that second kill. Taiga sneaking into the tree line, puts a ward down, and drops the stun and the Dragon Slave. And even though they did go to deward this Observer Ward, it got denied by Taiga. So they got everything that they wanted out of this lane. And that's the big reason that the Morphling was behind for so much of this match.
Yeah, and with the Morphling being behind, he had to try and find farm elsewhere. How did the mid lane fare? And could the TA get something out of that lane, Brian?
Yeah, TA got a lot. The Lush wasn't picked with the intent to shut down the TA. They kind of banned out all those heroes, the Vipers and the Razors. The Huskars were already taken out. But what the Lush did was, because you have this Abaddon, he was able to play wherever he wanted to. Sania just followed him around. He followed him from like minute 6 to minute 20 or something. I don't know if he just had a boots of travel Lush. He was following around, and that allowed Lush to keep up with the TA. And then you combine that with what happened in both the side lanes, and Liquid just runs away with it.
Yeah, and you get a babysitter, Owen.
No, I mean, if you've got Sumail on your team, I think you're all sort of fighting over trying to babysit him, right? You got to make sure you're backing up the king. And yeah, they really did. We saw for the majority of this game how hard it was for Brame to really bring him down. There were a lot of situations where they got so close, but one little save coming out and Sumail's able to turn, get the stun off. You know, and it's normally following up some sort of setup from Quakefor, and the fight's over just from then. If you don't manage to get in and blow that Lesh up, Sumail's just going to rule the remainder of the team fight.
So this was a combination from the way you guys are both talking, combination of outplay but also a bit of an outdraft.
Yeah, I think it was just more straightforward. I think Liquid's draft was so simple. You have Mag and PA are going to play together. You have Abaddon and Lesh who are going to play together. And you have the Lina doing her own thing, pushing a side lane, occasionally going for a kill threat. On the other hand, after the way the lanes played out, I was pretty impressed with Brame. We were talking about it backstage where they didn't sit in base waiting for Liquid to mess up or push. They were constantly pushing out side lanes. That's why the kill score was the way it was. It was like 25-6, but that's because they're like, we are going to try to get farm. And Liquid honestly murdered them all over the place, but I don't think Brame could have really done better after the laning stage. So I'm looking forward to if they can get a better laning stage game too. Okay. I think they'll be contenders.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's just going to be incredibly likely because I think there was some clear errors in the draft as Brian identified. I don't think we'll ever see them try and play the morph into a Lina again, and try and get the maybe if they get the last pick, that would be kind of the dream, so they don't give Sumail that comfort position having the final pick out of the whole draft. Because if Sumail's getting that, you're going to have a hard time.
Okay, well let's find out how game number 2 will take place and which heroes we'll have on the board for both Brame and Team Liquid. We will see game 2 and the draft of that one after this. Game 2 between Brame and Liquid coming your way here. DreamLeague Season 15 powered by Intel. First game went the way of Team Liquid. and they had overall last pick. This time around, the tables in that regard have turned because Brame will have the overall last pick. We got them back on the Radiant side, we got Team Liquid on the Dire side, and we got OD Pixel and BSJ on my right side. Well, I guess my right side, your left side, and we're ready for the draft at this one. Curious to see what we're gonna get. You're on my left side.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think you reversed that. I think everyone knew
what I meant. It's fine. We're in the draft. We're 2 picks in. We got another central leaner, but
Lesh is back, and this time he's not afraid. The king is ready to slap it out as a second pick.
I don't like it nearly as much as I did the first game. I think they might even put this Lina mid against the Lesh. One of the reasons I thought Lesh kind of was more situational this patch was because he fares so poorly against Lina, who had been gathering rising stock in the mid lane, not only as a 4, but I'd be fine if they left it as a 4 as well. Let's see how Liquid attempts to handle their opening from last game, right? Because we were talking about what carry do you pick? So Liquid, you're going to tell us now, if the other team has Lina, what would you do?
And where did they expect it to go? Because Brame, I mean, I'm sure that Stormanen can play it too.
They banned Huskar, so they're thinking still
Huskar
could be like a carry Lesh for Mickey.
Yeah,
that's
and
possible
do
as
that
well.
a lot. Liquid
Maybe carry Lesh is the answer.
Like
this is the
that.
curveball, little
What safe lane Lesh doesn't mind farming into Alina?
I would have to imagine it's similar to we were talking about like a Wraith King where you recover. That if you get some stacks from the Oracle, you throw out some Lightning Storms in the lane, and then you ditch the lane for those stacks, you can take them at level 6.
You know what hero is very sort of liquidy? That maybe, I mean, you're going to tell me if it's not good. I was going to say the Sven, the liquid Sven.
Oh, I just thought Morphling was made of...
I see what you mean, very liquid. But you know what I mean? Liquid love the Sven. Is that not a hero that you could see being able to farm into against Alina's pressure in the lane?
Yeah, I think if you have a
catch
roaming 4, then Sven would be better.
Okay.
Because the best way to deal with Lina is that she's super squishy. So you stun her with the Sven, you hit her with like a Tusk or an Earth Spirit or something, and
you can catch up after a rough lane, right?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that I think when you pick Sven, you don't mind going to the jungle, but you don't want to be like losing and going to the jungle.
Okay.
You want to be like, okay, I'm okay with this lane. I'm level 5, but I'm good to go. You know, I'm out of here.
And does Warcry not do enough for you in the lane to sort of withstand the harassment from the right?
Yeah, it's like usually most of the damage you're taking, you're already stunned by Lina. So I think you'll be using the Warcry to make sure you don't take any more damage, which kind of sucks. So like I said, the thing I love about Liquid's drafting is that the way they play their side lane, since they do mix up their heroes so much, they pick like wonky safe laners, but it's with like specific criteria that has to be met. So when I say the Sven, like you have a roaming 4, they'll pick it. But if they don't have that roaming 4, they're not going to give Sven that really awkward lane. But I would not count out the safe lane Lesh here. I think it's a strong possibility if Liquid has like a sick mid pick to end the draft. Mid Lesh is, or safe lane Lesh is one of the few mid laners that can legit carry the game with damage output.
Sure. And for the most part, you know, if you were to have Sumail in your team, you would feel happier sort of letting him have his hero being one of the later reveals.
Yeah, and it would have to be like a mixed damage mid laner though. You don't want two Leshracs. You know, you don't want like a Leshrac Storm. I don't think that would be a good combo. Because then they just build a couple hoods or a pipe or something, and suddenly your damage output's pretty underwhelming.
And when you see Lesh and you think there is the chance that it might be, you know, being prioritized as a position 1. Is there still space in the meta for the anti-mage? You know, we're seeing a lot of teams still try and make it work. It seemed not too impressive. Is Lesh one of those carries that still makes it legit to play against?
Yes and no, because the thing is that you're really good in a vacuum versus Lesh, but you're also very bad if the opponent's able to group up and take high ground super early in the game, which Lesh is really good at doing. Like even with just one Aegis, Lesh can usually go high ground. So it's a volatile matchup one way or the other. I wouldn't be afraid to pick it, but you have to be prepared for the fact that Liquid might just be hitting your tier 3s at 15 minutes into the game.
Is there any other cheese you should be worried about? Brame is taking quite a long time to think about this last ban before the next pick phase.
The fact that they banned PA says like so much. Like they just don't want to lose to the same thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think the PA was necessarily the problem there.
What was everything else around it?
Yeah, like I think that could have, like I'm not saying PA was weak, but I think, you know, a lot of carries would have been able to flourish in the situation Liquid drafted themselves last game.
All right, we got the PL as the last ban coming out from Brame.
PL Oracle, not really a combo.
No.
I don't think they're expecting this. Liquid's gonna swap this Lush to safe lane. I'm ready.
Look at this. They even prepared. Like, they banned out Jug Lifestealer. Those are actually Leshrak's worst carry matchups because you just never do anything to those guys.
Yeah. Well, we've got the Gyro coming through. Was, I believe, the carry that Focus played in one of the games against Tundra, where they did exceptionally well. Had, of course, great 2 games against Tundra.
I don't love Gyro into Oracle just because you throw out the rock. This is like mid game. You throw out the rocket. You throw out the call down on top of the guy that gets rocket, and Oracle just pushes W on that guy. And
yeah, no, absolutely. You're gonna need something else that's gonna be able to jump the Oracle. I feel if you want to play like that.
Ooh, that's
this
it.
Is the Taiga probably.
Yeah, Taiga special coming out.
Okay. So they're going the Wisp Gyro.
We've seen it do okay, but it hasn't been like, oh wow, they got IO Gyro, they're gonna probably win the game. It's been an okay strat, but it's not like mind-blowing good, I feel.
I don't know what you draft in lane against it, though. I'm not actually sure. In terms of Quakefoot's hero pool. You have the Enchantress 4.
Yep.
Where do they go? Okay.
Wow.
Well, screw everything I said about the Lich.
All right,
they just go for the Spectre. It's a
that-
really nice Blade Mill game.
Any chance that can the Lesh be flexed enough to go to the offlane and have Quake for play it, or does that not feel good? Like, could you run that?
You could
Lesh
absolutely
against-
do that, yeah. The thing is, I'm surprised if Brame doesn't just lane the Lina versus Lesh. That is a very favored Lina matchup. And it's not a terrible Lina game, all things considered. Like, you do kill the Enchantress.
Yeah.
You're a little afraid of Spectre hyper late game, but maybe maybe Team Liquid's just very confident that Brame is just going to be cookie cutter with the picks so far. They clearly think Ember is good against these ranged mid laners like the Lesh. Like, they banned it when they had Lina. They banned it when they have Lesh. I never thought of Ember as a very good hero this patch. That's a very weird ban to me, because not only is it like mediocre in lane versus Lesh, but it also, you have the Oracle to purge the shield, you have the Enchantress to purge the shield. I'd be curious to ask them about that one.
Let's see what Liquid are scared of here. I mean, we're still expecting what... I mean, you think the Lina will go mid at the moment, and they're still yet to pick their final support hero?
The thing is, it's like, I think they could do that, but I don't think they're going to do that.
They got overall 10th pick. Is there anything that is better against Leshrac than the Lina that they can still go for?
Puck was nice.
Would have been. Yeah.
Queen of Pain stands out to me as another hero that I would like a lot. It's mixed damage against the Oracle. You have the pure damage coming out, which is really nice. You can't protect from that.
We got the Sand King.
So that'll probably be Quake for, as I said, this is one of the 4 offlaners that he's been practicing recently in his pubs.
Yeah.
If it's a hero that he feels comfortable playing with in the mid lane, I think Queen of Pain would be nice. They just go TA again. I don't know, man.
So they're playing the same matchup mid.
They just willingly picked Lesh into you last game, and you're giving him the same matchup.
Yeah.
What do you think Brame feel is different this time that makes them confident enough to stick with the TA against the Lesh this game? I mean, what's changed?
It just has to be comfort zone, man. There's really... I don't see an actual reason strategically why you would pick TA again here. You have a very greedy draft. Liquid has a very greedy draft, but TA doesn't really punish the greed of these heroes. So I think Liquid will get away with their greed, and I think with Spectre, their greed will be superior. So... I don't know, maybe I'm underestimating IO Gyro, but the Oracle's really cool with the Spectre because the way Blade Mail and Dispersion works, they don't count for damage mitigation. So if you have the Oracle Fate's Edict on you and you're taking 0 damage, you're still dishing out damage with your Blade Mail and Dispersion. So it's a cool synergy. I think Liquid's got it late, and both teams will get the farm they need.
Okay, how are you on?
I'm a little happier to see them bring out like the Gyro IO. I think this is something that Brame are very strong with. But I've got to agree with Brian. I think the first 2 picks that Liquid came out with, you see the whole of the draft. I mean, you would have been happy slipping either of these heroes through as the end. The Oracle's going to be able to counter so much coming out from Brame. And I don't see any reason why Sumail's going to be any more unhappy here compared to when he picked the Lesh last game. And if this time round, we saw last game with the backup of the Abaddon, the saves coming out, arguably with the Oracle, the saves are going to be even better.
Yeah.
So... I think Sumail's set up for just as good, if not a better game than he was in game 1, and he had a great time there.
Are you a tiny bit sad that he's playing the same hero?
Sure. I mean, we all want to see.
Right?
We want to see everything that Sumail has to offer. I'm sure we'll get the chance over the series.
Yeah.
But obviously for Liquid, they're sticking with what's good. It comes out early in the draft. I think he's going to have just as good, if not a better game.
All right, well, let's see if Brame can force out that third game or if Liquid is going to take this as a clean 2-0. We're heading over to our commentary duo of Cap and Kyle.
To be honest, game 1 was not that close, and Brame, they seem to have taken the same kind of lineup they had before, made some tweaks, which I do think the tweaks are good.
Yeah, but like, do they think it was close? Because it didn't look very close. And I don't know about this TA hero.
Yeah.
It's not the secret S tier mid that we've all been waiting for. And, we'll see. But certainly going to need a better laning phase.
Well, if it says anything about Brame, it means that they feel like the winning formula against Liquid here was not that far off. Whether it was the slight tweaks in the draft, maybe they feel like it was more execution-based. I mean, a lot of that game 1 did come down to the laning phase going so poorly, right?
For sure, but I just finished rewatching Breaking Bad, and a couple of mistakes in your formula, you end up with something very far from what you intended. There's also checking. Do you know Sumail is just like fresh 22 years old? I feel like he's been around for like 7 years, but
yeah, well, that's because he has.
I know.
Right? If he's 22,
it's wild stuff.
Yeah. There's still a number of very young players, but they're only young in the sense of age because many of them are actually Dota veterans.
Well, it's funny going back to free to play. A common talking point was, yeah, pretty much a 25-year-old. Like, you won't make it in esports. But so far, I wouldn't say that's true. All the same captains pretty much still grinding away. Although admittedly playing 5 positions for the most part.
True. They're, I think new top-tier captains are a bit rare to come by, right?
It's very much an experience thing for sure. Sumail missing the block.
And it's going to go all the way into the tower. Maybe that's a little bit more than Wish wanted for himself. We'll see.
Yeah, the thing is, TA, if you don't get denied, you get that early level 2. It is actually quite nice because you can pressure under tower.
And you're better at last hitting under tower than a Leshrac is, right? Because of refraction. So maybe it is exactly what he wants, is the lane's going to push under tower, and Sumail's going to be hard-pressed to try and get those last hits.
Of course, he gets all of them and keeps lane control with a beast.
Losing the courier does keep his life intact. Spartan is going to be playing against the Enchantress Sand King. So one of the switches that we did have in this game is the fact that Brame took the Lina.
Yep. What are your feelings on the Sand King hero? Because it's back. It's being picked for mid, for off lane. I am not a believer still, personally.
I think that it's rather dependent on your 4 and your mid. Because I do believe that Sand King, he's sometimes a very underwhelming hero, and you would not... For example, actually, let's just talk about Liquid straight up here. Koifa, Sand King versus Boxy Sand King. I wouldn't want Boxy to be playing Sand King. I would want something that scales a bit better, right? Because that's kind of off-laner that Boxy is. But Koifa being more of a solid player that, doesn't have high variances in play, right? I'm okay with him playing something like Sand King that isn't going to carry team fights, but will always be there to assist.
He'll get a stun off.
Yeah.
Let the rest of the guys handle everything else. This bottom lane, Enchantress,
it's rough.
This hero, it's so weird how things get removed slowly. Like, you remember how all these mechanics that did bonus damage on denies got phased out? Like, first it was Kunkka's Tidebringer, but they left it on refraction, then that got removed. Same deal with the creep. Chen can't take big creeps, level 1. Doom can't eat big creeps.
They're really trying, but Mickey, he managed to dodge the LSA. Snowbiden, is he going to die first? He gets the last shot in. The first blood goes to him. Insania will get the counter kill, but it doesn't matter. They've lost their carry, and they've given up first blood.
Yeah, but can you explain that to me? Why Enchantress is the only hero that can take big creeps?
Because you can only do so for a limited amount of time, and they have nerfed the duration.
Yeah.
So IceFrog, because, I think IceFrog likes to have variety in there. So it's like, oh, you get to have a hard creep right away, but you can only have it for so long.
But
so you can be very strong, but for a very small period of
re-enchant
time.
it, though. No comment.
Okay.
We'll see how it plays out, though, because this is like already down bottom. They get the kill on Insania, but bot lane, they're doing a ton of pressure.
Double stun out from Koifa. A lot of damage on Focus as Taiga continues to throw shot after shot. And manages to get the impetus right as Spartan goes for the tether away for the added damage. I do think that Enchantress is kind of broken in this patch. I think it's being underrated by other teams.
You know, what's kind of broke is Mickey up top with only 6 CS against the Centaur lane, going much better than the PA did. It makes sense. The Oracle, much worse in these early levels. You don't really sustain your core the same way an Abaddon does. Nice proc the Caustic, but I think
Koifa, he is going to get run down here. Now, he did have one Fairy Fire, and they missile.
Taiga killed it with, I think, some assistance from the attacks of that Creep Archer.
And they're going to go for their double stun again. The Gyrocopter's going to go down first, and Spartan trying to get behind the tower. Koifa goes in for the tower dive, gets the kill, uses the Sandstorm to dodge the last couple of tower shots in there as well. 2 kills for the bottom lane of Liquid.
This Lina 4 position, man, is pretty sick. It's just the stun build. It's so much easier to hit, and this is the dream for Skylark. He's got a Ring of Health. He's just going to start running at Mickey. And unfortunately for him, Spectre is not really the greatest recovery hero. You don't farm jungle very fast. You're not able to clear stacks efficiently. This is just going to be a rough game.
Another tweak that Brame did make, right? Because last time Snowmanin was playing that a melee 4 position, right? An Earth Spirit. And here, he can pressure the lane a lot more, which we're seeing with this kill onto Insania. Not only is Mickey under farm, but now they're finding kills as well.
Dude, this is a disaster. Like, actually just straight up might be game losing, this top lane of Liquid. Like, 7-0 on your like 29 and 15 on Centaur. Skylark is not even going to go Vanguard, it looks like. He's going to rush Phase Boots. I love that idea.
Keep up the pressure. Keep the punishment going. Mickey takes a huge amount of damage, and once again, it's forced away from the creep wave.
You can't... It's... oh, my God. Mickey? Or Insania?
They don't have the hoof stomp, so Insania... Oh, Snowmanin. He really wanted that, and he tried to dive the tower for it. He still turns around and still gets plenty of damage onto Mickey. If anything, Mickey's going to die instead. All right, this is getting ridiculous now.
It's too much damage, Cap. 180 plus the strength bonus.
And they're going in for the dive. Dude, Brame, they want to keep this punishment going. Insania hiding in the trees here, but the Lina will cut down the trees to make sure that the support is going to be found here. And I believe Mickey actually had to wait a few seconds just to be able to TP out. That's how quick this is all happening.
So, bottom lane, the communication should be, hey guys, we're owning. Please be safe. No more getting double stunned by a Sand King. Just chill. Same goes for Wish mid lane. Look to see him be a bit more conservative. He's doing well. Outlaning Sumail ever so slightly. Who's going to move bottom. I like this move from Sumail because you have to put pressure into a lane. You cannot mess with the Centaur, so go after the enemy carry, maybe try to get a tower kill. Group up with your Sand King stun around the catapult.
And if the heroes do not present themselves for killing, then Sumail will take the tower.
And now they're going to hunt. They're still there. Go find them.
They think they TP'd out.
But where would they have gone? That's the thing. It's so early.
Yeah, mid lane. Gonna go ahead and drop a sentry to make sure that the Sand King is safe.
Oh, they pinged it. They saw the smoke. They know something's happening here. Curious to see, will Brame look to fight it? Probably not. Just keep hiding. Your Centaur's doing so much work up top. 2-level advantage on the Spectre. Stomata has bots queued up. I don't think that's the play here, but very ambitious with his item purchase, if that is what he goes for.
It is curious. Why is there something about this lineup that you really would want to have the capacity to split push? Look at this pressure on the tower. Oh, an accidental smoke.
It's unfortunate. They're down a couple now.
Yeah, they smoked to get into this position. They accidentally hit it again here. Get a little bit of damage on that mid tower once again.
Love little things.
like Wish laying down those traps on the side. So now he will see Sumail. He's like, okay, you did that trick last game. This time we'll at least see you.
Taiga, just a little efficiency. Was spamming Medallion on his creep. That's what keeps it alive under tower. Always fun to see.
Koifa with a 2-2-1-1 build.
That's the Sand King special. You want all your spells. Unfortunately, only get them one at a time.
Found on the river. Spartan. He's going to make him a little bit tankier, but it's not going to do enough here. Gives him what heals he can, but not good enough. Awkward position to be in.
Yep. I like this from Liquid. They move the Spectre to bottom because the tower.
3-shot.
Oh,
4-shot. Oh, he doesn't get that last shot in. Wish. He's still going to chase after him, but now the heal's already done its work. Fortunately, there is not a low ground miss there. He does get the kill.
Huh. It's odd, though. Skylark coming mid is very strange. I would have loved to see him just continue pushing top. Like, kill that tower, then move out of the lane. But he's just jungling now, and it feels like Brame are not pressing their advantage the way that they need to. You know, Mikkei's game was ruined. Now he's free to static farm bottom. They've already killed tower. And we talk about Spectre can't recover. This is how you recover. You plant yourself in a lane, you static farm the wave, and it's the gyrocopter now that's forced to just sit there and watch. There's nothing he can do. He's sitting in front of his tower with a full wand. But there's no pressure happening from Brame here. Now they're going to look to maybe go mid, but Sumail's the strongest hero on Liquid. He's the one with the creep clearing potential. This is not where you want your Centaur.
I think in some ways the adjustment from Liquid here with the Sand King, I mean, that's a tower defender in its own right. Do you think maybe he felt like he just couldn't take that tower?
I think Koifa rotated after he had left. It was just like, oh, a free wave up here.
Okay.
I just don't think Brame are capitalizing on this window they had. That gold lead, it was only like 1-2K, but that's pretty significant 6 minutes in. Yeah. Now you smoke, but at best you're going to get a kill here. Now there's a blade mail up. This is getting spooky. Oracle will be ready to teleport.
The at best here is a Spectre kill, a massive kill if they can get it. But as you said, Blade Mail, 17 charges of Magic Wand, and a tower that's not too far away. They're going to go for it. They do manage to get on top of him with the Stampede, outputting all that damage. Look at Focus's health just dropping as he throws the Rocket Barrage onto the Spectre. Fortunately, they get the kill, though. It's a massive pickup. They can't afford to lose mid lane, though. Wish, he's already had his refraction burned away by the hits coming in from the Enchantress and her creep. Fortunately, both sides do have a saving support. Spartan shows up and gives Wish a helping hand in dealing with the troll.
It's going to be a really cool game to watch progress. It's all going to be about how much impact does Insania have in team fights. Leshrack's one of my favorite heroes against Wisp, also very strong against TA, but it's a very scary situation because Lesh has to be in the fight. You've got to have your W running, ult up, charge forward. The only way you can do that is if Insania is prepared to back you up if you've got stuns coming in. If at any point Brame just say, hey, let's click this Leshrack, if he doesn't get saved, like that's where the whole game is decided. Lesh alive, so much damage. You kill him off, suddenly Liquid's lineup feels a bit flat.
Now, Brame did just have to give up their mid tower in part because Skylark's positioning was here in this bottom lane, and he could be found here. They do know where he's at. Spectre popping the ultimate to be able to find the Centaur, knowing that he didn't have a TP up for a bit.
It's a nice kill. Vanguard also somewhat countered by the Edict, doing physical damage but not affected by the Vanguard that the Centaur currently does not possess. He actually bought a hood instead.
Do you agree with that? Is that the right play?
Yes and no. I would say yes if he had still pushed that top tower. I think a big part of the Vanguard is just that it might take a little longer than it used to before return was changed, but you can just tank tower and kill it slowly but surely. If he doesn't feel confident doing that because he went hood instead, then I would disagree with it. But it could have been a team call, you know, bring him mid. But my big problem is that, you know, he was dominating this game. Suddenly he's barely ahead of the Spectre in net worth, and currently Mikkei is about to hit 9. He's somehow out-leveling Skylark. Bear in mind, he was 6.5 on Centaur to level 4 on Mikkei at a point.
They're going to use the Stampede to catch up to Taiga here, but it feels kind of bad for Brame because it's going to take a while to get this kill, but I think it's also not the kill they wanted with a smoke.
Definitely not. Look at, it's the dead part of the map too. They're in their own triangle. You get that kill, but Liquid's just like, yeah, sure, whatever, man. We have our entire side of the map. Everybody's farming. Koifa, I think, is closing in on... Oh, he has his blink. Okay, so this mid-tower fight is going to be spooky for Brame. They don't have any BKBs coming up soon. Their timing should be better than the previous game, however. They're not just going to lose 100% if it gets late enough, although Spectre certainly will outcarry a Gyro at some point. But they'd love to be able to make a play with the reload. You know, get initiation from Skylark. He should have a blink shortly, 1,000 gold. Koifa has him beat in that regard.
Once again, Liquid with way more camp stacked than their opponents. They aren't going to be able to get this opening onto the Centaur. No Stampede available, so very likely he's just dead here. The relocate coming in from behind. They're going to go for the Leshrac, but he's saved by the Oracle. Sumail, he's going to survive here. Brame have to back up.
Meanwhile, Mickey just farming away. Doesn't even have Haunt ready. And Taiga as well. Just like, yeah, you guys seem fine.
Taiga should have an idea. Look at that, the way he's tanked up. Medallion, hat, Vitality Booster, and a Raindrop. That is the most HP efficient build I've seen on an Enchantress.
Love the Raindrop too. And that is the name of the game now, folks. Was thanks to the addition of the backpack, the meta has caught up, but it is all about having gold efficient items nowadays, not slot efficient. Everybody's got slots galore. Just buy what you need, be 6-slotted ASAP. Big fan of the fluffy hat.
Nice kill there on Koifa. Wish picks up a double damage. They kill Liquid's big tower defender, and now they have an opportunity to finally take a tower themselves, unless Liquid want to be able to mass rotate, but I kind of doubt it.
I don't think it's happening. See, Scarlet just needs his blink. They've got one on Wish. Then it's just a pick off into the Roche pit if they can pull it off.
You hit an LSA from that range, damn. Ether Lens, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's a crazy item sometimes. All right, so they've got the Maelstrom for focus, so maybe he can start getting a lead on this Spectre.
Yeah, so far, it's really so good for Brame. It feels much better than it did previously. Got a real shot.
They're gonna have a great Deso. Now, one of the ways the game did fall apart for Brame last time, the laning phase went poorly, yes, but they also lost the first Roshan. And that is something that we're gonna be coming up on real soon here with the TA picking up a Deso. Focus. He's going to be spotted here. Spartan, he's going to have to go for a relocate out, but the Gyrocopter is already dead. The damage was too much. It wasn't even close. He died in like 2 seconds.
That is Agi treads Gyro. Maelstrom first. There's not much viability. Sumail TPing out.
Yeah, he's not sticking around for this kill. He wants to be able to go somewhere else and leave this kill for everybody else on his team.
Oh, okay, that was nice. Nice play from Skylark. He sniffed out that epicenter was on the way and just stampeded the hell out of Dodge.
Okay.
That's a quick bots on Sumail too. It's going to really help him accelerate. Also very nice to have with a Spectre on your team, doubling that global threat.
They're going to try and chase down Wish here. The dagger slow, but he's already blinked away, so instead they'll have to take the Lina, who was going for a TP out.
Yep.
Not a fantastic use of a Spectre ultimate, but
it's all about efficiency, right? Like, you used it. I thought he was going to stay top after that, but Mikhail just can't bottom instead.
Okay.
But yeah, if he rotates himself to top with that move, I maybe like it a bit more. They're going to kick him out of bottom, it looks like, although he's still content to farm jungle on his way out. Trouble for Brame right now is they don't have a natural way to start team fights. You know, you got the double blink in, but it's really tough for your Lina to play in these fights, because if he gets hopped by the Spectre Haunt, by a Sanking Stun, he just explodes.
Yeah, and we already saw that very thing happen to the Gyrocopter not so long ago.
They'd really love to have some BKBs.
Skylar, whoa. He still managed to hit the stomp there, but they don't have any vision. Spot Koifa inside of this Sandstorm.
This is the thing, you know, I'm really not a TA believer. Wish TPing out though, looking to fight mid. Oh no.
Managed to catch Skylark. Now he still has Stampede. He's going to try for it here. Cuts through the trees, getting away. Blink is up in a second, and Koifa doesn't hit him in order to stop that blink. Now the rest of his team is rotating up, so they're actually going to turn things around here with a smoke. They're going to run into Insania. A fast kill onto him is an excellent start, but they need to be able to catch the cores here as well. Koifa, burrow strikes away to the tree. Sumail hiding on the left-hand side. They don't actually know he's here. They did manage to catch Koifa, though. Get a 1 kill. Fortunately, Sumail is going to bots his way out of there. It would have been a massive pickup if they could have gotten all 3 of those.
Yeah, this is how you got to play if you're Brame. Just way more aggression. Abuse the fact that your TA is online. The hero does not scale very well, but with Blink, Deso, Max Meld, you do just what we saw. 2-shotting nearly Insania. And that's the target you've got a gun for. If the Oracle dies, suddenly Sumail can't play the same way, and the team fight's much tougher. But here's the buyback.
They're going to find these heroes are too tanky to be able to bring down. Oh no, they really need this Roshan. Sumail's taking a lot of damage. A nice stop, barely catches him from Skylark, and a massive kill. He goes down. A buyback from Koifa. He's going to be leading the charge manage with the Burrow Strike to bring down Focus. A 1-for-1 trade-off there. A core apiece, but it did cost Liquid a buyback.
Sumail a bit too aggressive there. Not quite as invincible as he felt. He's laughing at himself, I'm sure. Insania was close, but not that close, and he ran himself the opposite direction of his Oracle. Otherwise, he almost certainly can be saved there.
Yeah, it's one of those awkward things where he's coming in from the middle lane, but the rest of his team was coming in from the jungle area, and Insania's like, I can't be 2 places at once. Come on,
we
guys.
just saw he has to be very cautious on Insania, because if he gets blinked on, he is the target.
Yeah,
and
for
he
sure.
will die to a stomp, to a TA blink in. There's just way too much damage. It's tough as well to play these heroes that are forced to stick in the back line against gyros as the game gets late, because you start to catch all the flax as well.
Well, if they can catch Liquid in another slip-up here, they might be able to finally get that Roshan, and then they would have effectively covered themselves on 2 of the major mistakes they made in Game 1, which is kind of what we wanted to see with a lineup that was similar to Game 1. They made slight alterations.
Yep.
They're showing that they learned what was wrong with Game 1.
Tying in some trouble. Almost falling victim to 1 more creep syndrome, but this game to me is all about the Bulba coefficient. The number of fights Liquid need to win is significantly smaller than the number of fights Brame are going to need. The Radiance for Mickey is online shortly, and Brame need to play the rest of this game very well. They gotta, oh no, not like this.
Can't afford to lose a hero here. Gyrocopter gonna be relocated away. He's safe, and a stun comes in from Stominen. Now, they did, where did they relocate? Oh, they relocated all the way back to the fountain. They wanted to make sure the Gyrocopter is 100% good.
Yeah. Now is the time to make a move. The thing is, they have the mech, but they don't have BKBs. They really want to have those up. TA of 500 gold, Gyro in 900 gold, so it's almost there. Once they have those, they can think about perhaps forcing a fight in Roshan, but it's just going to be real tricky because they will be playing into the Radiance at that point. No Haunt for 120 seconds, though. I think you want to press here, even before the BKBs. Get a pick-off, get a fight, get Roche. Look to take tower after.
Yeah, if they manage to get that Radiance and they have the Solar Crest on the Enchantress, Mickey starts becoming a really viable... Oh yeah, and he's got a Nether Shawl too.
Of course he does. Man, Brame, they have to recognize their strength, Cap, because right now they're playing like they're behind, like there's some timing upcoming.
Maybe a pick up like this would be really good. Wish, okay. He didn't quite blink down to the low ground, so it's a big concern. They're gonna go for this mid tower before they try and take Roshan. Feeling like this real estate is important. Skylark.
Take this
Managed
fight.
to get off the hood. He's taking a lot of damage here. He's going to be healed up by the IO. Now a stun, a Centaur stun left-hand side by the Enchantress onto Wish. Wish is kind of stalled up right now. And there
you gotta go here, folks. You can't just stand in front of tower against the lineup like Liquids. The impetuses, the dagger and radiance spam, the Leshrac lightning. You wanna immediately engage, double blink, drop everything.
Well, maybe this is a better way to do it, right? They're going to coax Liquid out of the tower area by going for Roshan.
They know there's no buyback on Koifa.
They did catch Sumail here in this exact same position before. Skylark not jumping quite yet. Now his Blink Dagger being canceled. They're going to slow him down with the TA traps. Brame seeming very reluctant to go for this one, and soon Koifa's going to be back up. Just 7 seconds. At this point, Brame, they've missed their opportunity.
Yeah, they're getting poked. Liquid, very savvy. You can tell experienced calls. They're just poking. You're not trying to fight in the pit. You're not panicking. You just distract them, posture, buy some time. Brame, I think when they watch this replay, are going to be kicking themselves a little bit because that was the opportunity. Like, that's a 4-on-5. Liquid showed up at the tower. You know there's no Sand King. It is 100% 4-on-5, and they don't even get a blink off offensively. That entire engagement.
Yeah.
Now Liquid is 5, can look to be aggressive themselves.
They've got their initiator too, which makes this fight a whole lot easier for them to take. They're going to go forward. A nice two-man stomp from Skylark. He sees an opportunity, but intercepted. Wish is going to find himself stunned. Wish does manage to get off his BKB, perhaps it's a bit too late. Focus right in the middle of him with his own BKB is delivering out some serious damage and brings down Mickey. A really nice fight for them so far as Taiga almost goes down to Laguna Blade. Fortunately, Heal's going to be able to keep him back up. Koifa jumping himself away, but Sumail's not going to be as lucky. Stuck by the river. The last shot from Wish isn't quite enough. He's got the HP. He's got the Solar Crest. Instania taking out right in front of them. No way. What? How did he get out of there? Skylark will finally find the jump to take down Taiga. Taiga healed and healed and healed through that, but eventually goes down.
So, man, like I was saying, Cap, what a great move by Brame to not take that fight until both of their BKBs were online. Waiting for their timing. The patience from Brame.
Your analysis never misses, Kyle. Man, Brame, I mean, I felt like that was a moment right there. Wish getting stunned. I was like, oh no, his damage got delayed. But it didn't matter. Their double BKBs, as you correctly predicted, were huge in being able to win the fight.
Playing it smart. It looked over them like, oh god, not like this. They gave them their 5th hero, Haunt back up, but yeah, with double BKB, suddenly Liquid's lineup has no damage. Yeah, and Stone was you threw it to where he was moving, but
I think he was trying to hit Tiger, right? I think he was trying to hit that deer, and then he was like, "Oh no, nobody has a stun."
Splitting the uprights. Some people get paid for that. Wish. Huge. Scotty queued up though. For the regen reduction, I suppose. I don't know if that's. It's nice to stick to the Spectre too and the Lesh.
Okay. I mean, they do have a lot of heal coming in, no doubt, right? Because of Oracle, because of I'm presuming Sumail is good to go Bloodstone, right?
Yep, that's already on the way. Has the Essence Ring too.
Essence Ring, okay. So I kind of see it. It makes him a lot tankier, so he's not. There's no chance of him being burrow struck into. Oh, I'm just dead. Well, less of a chance anyway. Speaking of, an Aghanim Scepter. Aether Lens straight Ags for Stoneman, and he's almost, he's going to be pumping out some pure damage. That is really
pretty
nice.
Sick. Does that functions with Dispersion, right? Dispersion still reduces that damage?
Yeah.
I guess just to pierce the BKB then of Sumail, but he's not really got that queued up. Good against the Ench, I suppose. You can burst the Oracle. Makes it. It's to burst somebody.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
After all, the Spectre does have that goddamn Nether Shawl.
That is true. What an item.
That item makes me laugh. So hey, it's just sometimes it's like, oh wow, what a game-breaking item.
Yeah, I keep trying to have this discussion about neutral items and whether or not they're, we like them in the green room, but Brian always just brings up Hearthstone and pseudo RNG and how it's actually good. You gotta have better deck building.
I will say that I kind of like neutral items. I find them fun, but I would not be surprised if one day they're removed and we'd look back on them and be like, man, that was crazy time. Why'd we ever allow that?
Yeah. Could see it. Corvy's gonna get out of here scot-free. This is the trouble with this Sand King offlane though, right? Centaur, similar items, but he just feels so much stronger. The Stampede.
Wait, are they both going Scotty?
Are they?
Now Gyrocopters.
They're both going Scotty. All right.
Hey. I mean, surely that's not the efficient play, right? Maybe somebody builds another item that's okay, all right. Well,
I mean, it is pretty efficient. Yeah, it's like 5 extra stats and a little bit of extra HP and mana. No recipe, so it's good in that sense.
Okay.
The regen reduction and the slow, I mean, I guess Brame, they just think, you know, we're going to win a fight in the duration of our BKBs, so we just want to be able to run forward and stick onto somebody. Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Tier 3 neutral items coming out. Let's see if
Titan
we can-
Sliver, Enchanted Quiver, Quickening Charm, all pretty value items.
Ceremonial rope, my favorite.
That's your favorite, really?
It's up there. Anything like anything that involves status resist, I consider S tier.
Okay.
If Sanji
I mean, I'm just saying
Yasha-
Titan Sliver is a better status resistance item, but yeah.
Okay, true. But it's not an aura. It's only for the individual. Like if Sanjin Yasha is a must-buy item for every carry for 25% status resist, and AoE minus 10% has got to be good.
Koifa. They try and catch him here, but I believe he's going to be so far away by the time that little missile catches up to him. He even dodges it with the
I
Yules.
feel like we just saw this.
Yes,
The
he was at
sequel,
bottom.
Indeed. A DD, Aegis fading on TA. Wish very strong. Still thinking about his item choice. I really want to be sure he picks something up before the next fight. This is one of my pet peeves. Is you have the slot, all this gold, invest. Because his net worth advantage, yeah, it's huge. But if Sumail has spent his money, and he has, this really isn't elite at all.
Snowman is going to be found here playing in the jungle where the rest of his team had already abandoned. Brame had already backed out of that one a long time ago.
You have done a great
Let's see. Wish is still thinking about it. At 5k gold now. What will he buy? Scotty still seems to be the answer. Nope.
I mean, what would other options be? Something like a Daedalus or something?
no.
But that's so burst heavy against an Oracle, right?
Yeah.
That seems kind of like... And I feel like they don't have a super reliable way to catch this Oracle. In some ways, I think they have to just accept the fact that he's going to get off his ultimate.
Yeah. Butterfly doesn't help you. Maybe like you'd really love to have an AC, but it's kind of tough. TA itemization gets weird. You can really only go one of two ways. Either all in for the jump or go for the more sustained damage route, which he has chosen with the Scotty. Gyro will also be going for one. Nope, just kidding. Okay, cool. Yeah, Gyro swapped it to an Ags. I think this is the right choice. Ags super value when you have a Wisp on lineup. There's so many stuns on the side of Liquid. Having that side gunner going is quite helpful.
Mjolnir next for him as
Yep.
well. So.
Yeah. So far,
And there are a lot of instances. Sandstorm, Diabolic Edict, there's Radiance. There's a lot of instances of small, constant damage that can proc the active.
That's a good point. It's one of the counters to heroes like Darkseer or Leshrac, Spectre even. Just guaranteed Mjolnir procs galore. 15 charge Bloodstone, but gotta say Liquid, you know, they've pumped the brakes. They're just playing conservative, but they gotta be careful.
I don't know, they know Skylark was there. I guess spotted him somehow, but the rest of the Brame is here to be able to back him up. Right now, they're chasing down this Enchantress while Skylark went back in there. Actually managed to find Insania. That's a big kill. Mickey's going to pop his ultimate, but it's already too late. Insania is dead. Now an Epicenter coming in. Wish he has the potential to be blown up, and he does. They get him before he can do anything. No BKB pop for him. Focus, he's going to use his own. He used it to be able to take down the Leshrac. He's also going to be able to bring down Mickey. The damage he's pumping out is insane right now.
Oh, yeah. And once again, the TA picked up the Shard, but it is so much more effective in this game. It's part of the reason Insania just can't cast spells, constantly getting spam silence from the traps. Super effective against the Enchantress as well. And this feels like Brame's game to lose at this point. They are cruising.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the fact that Liquid, managed to 100-0 this Templar Assassin, and the fight wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Says a lot about where Brame's strengths are.
is under attack.
This Gyrocopter.
Gyros, and it all comes back from that wise decision to wait for those BKBs before that critical team fight. They get the Roche. Now they are rolling.
Truly only the best in Dota would be able to recognize a tactic like that. Skylark. Chopping away at a tier 2 tower. He gets it, and Brame. I mean, at this point, you're just waiting on Roshan, which just spawned, so... Can't take it while the TA is up, but... Or dead, rather. Shard, who are we giving it to?
Gyro. Or
Gyro?
you give it to your Lina
For the...
for the ground Laguna Blade.
I don't think I've ever seen that, but in demo mode.
Yeah, me neither. But it would do pure damage, and it would look so cool.
That's true.
What's the
I often
James
judge
Bond
my
movie?
decisions by how cool something is.
Did they give it to him? Yes! It's so cool, guys. It's an increased cast range, number one.
Yeah.
And
that's hype.
it goes the full cast length. So it literally, like, zaps the ground. Lasers.
What are they doing here? They relocated straight into him. Liquid do manage to kill the IO now. It looks like with a BKB, they may be able to get some sort of kill out of this one as the Scotty's slowing down Taiga, but Taiga's still living through all of that one. And now Brame, they've overextended themselves. A two-man stump coming out from Koifuz. He managed to bring down the gyrocopter. They have the Aegis on the Templar Assassin. He's going to pop his BKB, but can he get out of here alive? Right now, he's pushing some damage onto Sumail, but it's not doing anything. A turnaround, a two-man stump. Maybe with the lineup, they can do something here, but the Oracle save onto the left track. I think AoE clear of the Laguna Blade does some damage, but ultimately Wish, he needs a little bit more help. Mickey surviving on just a sliver of HP, but now the heal is coming up, and Wish, he's going to have to do something with second life, but he should just be chain stunned to death. Oh, multiple buybacks coming in. Brame, they recognize they cannot afford to lose their TA here, but a blunder from Brame throwing away their advantage.
There was no lean. They reload in? We got to see a replay. What in the... What?
Questionable decision for sure.
They all died. That was 5 heroes if you count the Aegis. How did they reload in?
Yeah,
There's
they reload
no follow-up. Lina is mid lane. TA is not in range. Skylark wasn't able to land a blink stun. Wow.
Yeah, that was terrible.
A double stun from Koifa. They don't get the cheese off on the gyro, unfortunately. Maybe this goes a bit differently. But
maybe, but ultimately, right, the initiation is just...
I mean, shout out to Liquid. They played that incredibly. Watch the line, Laguna, though.
It's too bad it didn't kill anybody.
But it almost did.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that smile. That damn smile.
That's what gets Kyle every time. Four-man smoke
Careful.
from Brame. As I'm sure, no doubt, they recognize... Oh, Skylark, his smoke broke. They know he's somewhere over here. Can they find him? Does Mickey know? The orbs, they're right around him. They hit him. Hit him once. Finally, the TA trap is right on top of him. They spot Mickey. Can they get to Mickey, though? He's in deep, but they do. They manage to kill him. A massive, massive win.
Mickey. He wanted to sit around so we could cut the wave behind them, but Brame were not having that. They went foresting.
Well, in some ways, that may forgive Brame for that earlier teamfight blunder.
Yeah. I don't know, Cap. The trouble is that the Centaur and the Lina bought back, and they represented a chunk of the advantage. You know, that removes the Centaur Ags from your next fight.
That is a big pickup.
Oh, yeah.
That could help somebody survive if they're initiated on before getting out BKB. They're going to pop said Stampede to be able to catch up to Sumail here with a relocate onto the other side. And a big pure damage hit from Stominen.
Not having any of that. That is a massive 999 pure damage.
Yeah.
I dig it. And it's time to push, right? Both cores dead. Mickey has a buyback. Sumail does not. I like the choice. Sumail was thinking Sanj Kaya, now looking at a halberd. The disarm active against both of these cores is great, and there we go. My man Wish is about to finish his Daedalus. There is no evasion just yet picked up. Yeah, the Radiance Burn might annoy him, but if he's BKB'd, he can shred through anybody with a nice crit.
And there's something to said about the new Blink items. Yeah. They do add a second big peak for many of these cores that rely on Blink daggers, right? Your Wraith Kings, your Templar Assassins.
Yeah. There's a big help to heroes like Wraith King and TA, because it would feel like they would fall off a little bit, whereas now, as you said, you know, they can be stronger. That 5 to 10k net worth lead always feels like one until we get into the super late game when Spectre might start to turn the tide. But for now, you got to be feeling good as Brame, only a 5-kill lead, but they should know how strong their position is. They just consider where Liquid is playing right now, just kind of hiding in base. They spot, nice word, they're going to see Wish. They might look to roll out, but it's tough. All these traps.
I can't believe this ward is still alive. Brame invaded the triangle and didn't take that high ground ward away. I got a pop Stampede. I think Skylark is calling, like, guys, you got to get out of there. We have shown 2 heroes top lane. Yep. They're running at you.
Oh, Mickey just realized he got a Trickster Cloak. So that's a built-in 20% evasion.
Yeah, neither edge resistance is really big as well.
Yep. So the game will start to spin a bit. If Sumail can finish his halberd, the evasion on Mickey, but double evasion on cores, is super effective when neither enemy core has an MKB. Yeah. They have an Oracle behind them as well.
Which case Wish may end up regretting his Daedalus pickup.
Soon, Scotty is complete on Mickey. Big timings coming out. Brame would really love to get the initiation, but I like what Liquid's doing. They're just spending their gold.
Yeah, Scotty's massive, because now he can jump straight onto the IO, right? And he's hitting everybody with it, so you're really going to slow down the regen factor of someone like Focus, who's currently being targeted right now, but they do manage to get a relocate over to the side. They're trying to go for Mickey. Mickey is able to take a brunt of the damage, no problem. Taiga a little bit squishier here. They play to the outside. Koifa ready to go back in. Now the BKB's gone. He goes straight for Wish. They manage to hit with the stomp, interrupting that. The Laguna Blade just took out Koifa, but they don't have a save for Focus. Focus is going to end up going down, and Wish, without the Gyrocopter and the Centaur to play the front lines, they're just going to have to full-out retreat here. A blink away from Skylark. Does he have a TP to be able to get out of here? They're currently tunneling through the trees. No TP. Oh dear, Skylark.
Yeah, that was just, you can't set it up better for Liquid. They had vision, knew where Brame were in the vicinity. They had just purchased big items, Halberd on the Lesh, Scotty on the Spectre, and they forced BKBs for the Haunt. Previously, that was a good trade for Brame. They'd fight through it. But because of that initial back off, when the BKBs fade on the course, they feed. Koifa can come in with a stun, the Lesh follow up, they have Yules, and Spectre's just too tanky. You've got to be able to get on a target as Brame while your cores are BKB'd. If you cannot do that, you are not going to win the fight. Oh my god, that is such a gross item build from Taiga.
Yeah, seriously. Vanguard, Solar Crest, Hurricane Pike. Now he's going an Aghanim Scepter, so he has some additional survivability in some way. Also good stats.
He also went fully defensive on the talents. I think part of the reason Ench is just so strong in this role. The magic resist, extra heal, and the untouchable slow. So other reason, 265 attack slow? Yeah, if you're not BKB'd,
I thought the Shard was good for these kind of builds. Slightly surprised Taiga didn't go that route as well. Either way. 100% win rate on the other one.
What's the sample size, though?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be like one game. Hey, now we have an Aghanim Scepter. Speaking of damage reduction. Aghanim Scepter for Centaur.
I mean, Brame is hanging in. 40 minutes in. 21-17.
So now maybe we can just pop Stampede for the Spectre ultimate. Hold on to our BKBs, but it still seems like initiation is all important right now,
for
right
sure.
now.
You have to find Insania. You have
to. has a refresher. I feel like he picked up that Aghanim Scepter not too long ago, but now he's got the double zaps out.
Oh, yeah.
2,000 pure damage?
He's turning into a Bond villain.
Imagine if they're in a line. Oh.
That's the play.
That's the play.
He
could do 10,000 pure damage in 1 second.
Limitless possibilities. Liquid chasing. They are on the hunt now. They are feeling themselves. Level 25 on the Spectre. A little bit of extra dispersion. It's actually such an insane talent. 25% damage reduction. You need a break, it feels like, on Brame, but nobody can really buy one. And yeah, we'll watch this fight again, but it's pretty simple. Focus BKBs, they're going for Spectre, Force Staff from Taiga. Now both heroes BKB'd, they're not dealing damage. The positioning from Liquid is super easy, that little star. They shift right, BKB's down, shift left. We've all seen that.
Back into the game though, Brame, they have smoked up and they tried to run towards Liquid's jungle. It broke on Mickey, and they didn't find the clean initiation they wanted. So now they're gonna try and back out without anybody getting caught. toying with turning around. Okay, that was a Lotus Sword. Burrow Strike stun onto Koifa. They tried to go for Wish here, but Wish is getting away thanks to the Stampede. A two-man stun up from Snowman and onto Sumail and Mickey. They're going to turn around and deliver the damage onto Taiga and catch up to Sumail as well. Ooh. He goes down with a Laguna Blade. Insania gets popped next. Mickey on the run. Skylark, he's shrouding him. He's making sure Mickey doesn't have an easy way back to his base. He's going to play on top of Roshan, but the missiles after him, they're going to be able to catch him as well. They see Roshan spawns right next to them as well. They win the fight. They immediately go for Roche. It couldn't get better for Brame.
Yeah, that Stampede, that Ags, like the buyback slowed it down, but you can see they haunt, immediately counteracted, and then turned back around. They didn't even use the BKB on Gyro. Wasn't necessary. And the Lina actually did so much damage in that fight. Like 2 full combos. I think that was a 2-man Laguna and then able to finish off the
Aghanims pick up Kyle, and he's going to use it to teleport bottom lane and catch Koifa. That's dirty. That is dirty.
Yeah. And suddenly the map shrinks for Liquid. That is, I can't believe how hard they just crushed through that fight. With the buyback, I mean, they're going to go for Throne. Otherwise, you got to be careful. Look at Wish.
Goes back to base, TPs, and rejoins his allies inside of the Liquid base. Mickey does have buyback in 40 seconds, but they found an opening onto Koifa, who's immediately going to be saved. A false promise from Insania. Koifa will be fine, but the buyback has been used from Mickey. The damage is done, and Brame call it quits.
It's time to go. Still have everything that you need, and I love this. Look at Gyro, he's got the Silver Edge queued up. He recognizes that really the way we would lose this game is if we all in for a Spectre, he pops Blade Mail, we get all of ourselves to half HP, then he gets Oracle ulted. The break means that he becomes a true target, and you force the Oracle ulti that much faster. Leveler on the TA, structure damage will be no problem. And plus 8 refraction? What? That used to be plus 3.
Yeah, they had to make it a little bit more appealing since the meld hit bash was all the rage. Now,
that is
Wish is
really
seriously
good.
tanky, and he's also got the Swift Blink up as well. So, look for him to be pumping out damage. We have the 5% dispersion here from Mickey, but as you said, if we break him, doesn't matter.
Yeah, he is very strong. I don't see... I don't know, Liquid, it feels like they're the ones really having damage troubles now. Look at this Centaur's HP. The damage reduction on the Stampede. And then both cores also above 3,000 health.
Yeah.
The Lina at 3,000 health.
About to be level 25, too. So, Laguna Blade cooldown. Every 25 seconds. The cast range, man. That cast range is really sick. Seems like these shards have turned into, oh, it does this cool little thing, but like the real bonus is in the stat that you're going to get out of it. A lot of cast ranges being given out.
Ags picked up on Koifa. It's part of the issue with tanking. Like, look, if you look at the itemization, it doesn't, like, Koifa didn't do anything wrong, right?
Yeah.
But you're just like, were there really no better items? But then you rack your brain, you're like, no, there really aren't. Like, Centaur, you have the luxury of buying this, and it feels really good because you're just tanky. You make your team tankier.
Yeah.
Tanking doesn't really have that. You see Koifa, when he stuns in, he ends up being turned around on quite easily. Still not nearly as durable as his off-lane counterpart.
It does mean if they do manage to blow somebody up, the damage that is inflicted from that explosion can be very high. 22% of their max health is damage. So, when you're talking about everybody being 3,000 HP, it can have an effect, but it's obviously not the same kind of meaty feel-good as damage reduction. Wish starts laying the damage into the melee barracks, daring Liquid to do something about it. He's got 1 minute left on the Aegis.
Sumail has his 25. Some more damage out of the Edict.
Good read on the ward being there. The Brewer's Strike just to kind of stall him. Poking at Wish, but the refraction is keeping them plenty healthy here, and there goes one lane of barracks. Can they do another one before the Aegis falls? They've got 45 seconds. Oh, okay. Spartan's a little far forward here. What was that? They're going to try and jump on him real quickly. He goes for the self-fuels on the Stormcrafter, but it's not good enough. Mickey takes a hefty amount of pure damage, but that's now gone. Mickey retreats back to the fountain and ready to re-engage with his ultimate as Brame start jumping back, but they're not going to let him get away. Liquid see an opportunity. They're going to pounce on Brame's mistakes. They're going for focus right now. Mickey's got to be a little bit careful. He plays a little bit far back, but the Spartan, he actually bought back, and that's going to be a dieback for him. It goes down here. The stuns are raining in, though. He might just be able to save him, but no. Mickey cleaves right through him as he daggers on through, goes for the back line. Now has managed to keep up for Stoneman. He turns around, throws out the Laguna Blade, but 2 dead with no buyback on Brame. Oh, no. What a disaster. Wish. He turns around. A stun coming out. A Lotus Orb bounce back as well, but Skylark, he's going to be blowing up, and it does a healthy amount of damage to Wish, who also falls. Focus, TPing away. Ooh, barely gets out.
Oh
that might
God.
have just been the game straight up there if he dies.
How the hell did Liquid win that fight? Like, it's as if they do this constantly, Cap. They just make it so challenging for themselves and somehow pull these tricks like the rabbit out of a hat. No clue how they win that engagement. Well, actually, okay,
Well,
Spartan.
I think we both like Spartan, and we don't want to. We want to say Liquid's great, but like Spartan, bro, that
dog.
was. Whoa. Yeah, why are you in front of everybody
He's
else?
energetic. He's the captain. He doesn't want to be a tie-win. He wants to be up in the front. Guys, let's go.
You're not in a
Ground.
dying, Spartan. I remember that game.
He's so deep.
He's so deep.
His cores are in the jungle already looking to farm. He's questioning why they're not attacking tier 4s.
Well,
3
now-
heroes dead. Liquid, they have so much pushing power with this upgraded Edict on Lesh. You got to be cautious.
What are they going to do, though? What is Liquid going to do with this
They can't
opening?
get
Because they know there's no IO.
No Roche either. They can't get any more because tier 2s on both side lanes are still up. Surprised. I feel like the Liquid we know just goes high ground there, but they choose not to. Mickey also deceivingly survivable because he doesn't just have Trickster Cloak, he also has that Butterfly. So if you don't buy an MKB on one of these 2 cores of Brame, they have one on the Gyro. That's good. TA now needs one too. He's got it queued up. You legit can't kill this man otherwise.
Yeah, we saw how much damage he was outputting in the fights because he was able to just constantly get in there. Fortunately, Brame, as you said, because the tier 2 still being up, left with only the mid lane of barracks going down. This effectively just undoes what they had managed to prove earlier by being able to take Liquid's mid lane of barracks, so things are still even.
You got to keep in mind, like, it's 17K, and typically you're like, wow, that's a ton of gold, but as a percentage of the net worth available in this game, it is not really that large at all. Yeah, 96 to 115. It's not really that huge when all cores are maxed out. They're 6 slotted. Sure, you could eat a moon shard, you could eat the Ags, but it's not really that wild because it removes the Aegis advantage because now it's replacing a tier 4, tier 5 item. And
yeah, they lose their IO here, and you could see the one Laguna Blade going down and Wish being low. There's no way Liquid lets them walk away.
no.
So Mickey, he heals up as much as he can, and then he jumps forward. They're not going to get away because of Scotty, so they have to turn and fight. And then Spartan again, he relocates in, but he's right next to Leshrac.
Yeah. Liquid are doing a good job, though. You can see how they're fighting. Like, Mickey's in. Okay, Mickey's out. They're going to chase, but Koifa stuns, walks away. They're waiting for the right target to present itself, and unfortunately for Brame, Skylark did so twice. The moment he appears, the Liquid guys are going to pop the pinata. They don't want to go for a BKB core. Trying to get anybody but. However, Sumail did buy back. They got a Rax for it, but it means that Liquid have to be very cautious. A smoked Brame on the way.
Aghanim Scepter complete for Sumail. So now he's got that nihilism, which makes the enemy team ethereal. They're going to be able to take down Taiga. He's going to go up here, and they're opening onto more as Insania has already been caught. He pops the ultimate on himself and uses the blink to try and get away, but the damage might be too overwhelming. Or if anything, maybe Sumail needs it. Laguna Blade takes him out. And the Oracle still pops. The missiles are chasing after Koifa, but they will not have 2 heroes for 2 minutes. And Brame, you can see Mickey, he's dead. He's like pushing out whatever creeps he can right now because he knows Brame could just end the game if they manage to get through backdoor protection. He's going to go ahead and pop his ultimate, jump to the other side of things, try and make the great escape here.
But I think this is game, Cap. There's 2 dead. They might not know Ench doesn't have buyback, but they're 100% Sumail just did. So if you just march down mid.
Mickey did what he could to try and delay them. Brame is here now, and they've got 80 seconds to work with. Skylark finds the first opening. It's going to be on Koifa. Koifa using the Yule Scepter on himself, maybe trying to blink away. Mickey playing the front lines best he can. There's Spartan. He shows up to give a little boost here to focus. They start pushing down Mickey. He's taking a lot of damage, and Koifa is going to go down first, but he did have the buyback. The tier 4's already gone. And if anything, Brame, they can just ignore Mickey. They're going to go straight for the throat at half health. Focus, he's just moving around, and that's going to be it. They're going to manage to take this one against Liquid. It was a bit of a back and forth, but ultimately, Brave, they made the adjustments. They learned from game 1. And they take down Liquid here in game 2.
And I guess Skylark, the mastermind at the end of the day. He baits Liquid into a false sense of security, and Liquid leave their base, and Brame just smoke and run at him. Taiga dies. Looked like Liquid got caught looking, we might want to get next, but well played to Skylark. Immediately pops Sensor ult, finds the next target with Wish, and as soon as Sumail dies, that's just GG.
Yeah.
Can't get out of your base without buyback. Come on, King. I mean, even a King makes mistakes. It's been a while. You forgot rule number 1, man. Can't die without buyback.
Well, while Kyle is doubling back on his previous statements, we've got Brame doubling down on their draft and managed to take it in game 2. We're going to see a game 3 between these two teams, which is something, to be honest, I wasn't sure if we were going to see. Looking like it. We'll see what the panel has to say about that crazy game 2.
Thank you, Cap and Kyle. Indeed, there's a lot of things that we can say about that second game, and we are also, of course, going to prepare for game number 3. But before all of that, take a look at this. A nice strong start from Brame in game number 2 as the laning stage mostly was theirs. They take a lead, and to be honest, they never really let go of that lead, and they forced Team Liquid to a game 3 here in the upper division of the Western European DPC League. It's 1-1 Brame Team Liquid. There's a lot to talk about with this second game. I'm here with OD Pixel and with BSJ, and I mean, Brian, where do you want to start? You want to start with Spartan's IO? You want to start with yeah, okay.
I'm going to say right now that I'm very happy for Brame that they won this game. Because if they had lost, that would have been the single most game-losing support performance I've ever seen on a save support. I have no idea what he was doing, so I don't want to be too negative, though. I'm impressed by Wish's TA.
Yeah.
We doubted the Scotty. We doubted the ability of the hero to be able to carry in the late game, but that 25 talent, 8 refraction instances. That used to be 3, I'm pretty sure, which is absolutely insane. It was an awesome game to watch, a lot of back and forth. It wasn't clean, but that usually makes it a better spectator game, so nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, you know, we're never going to doubt the Wish TA coming through. When they throw out as a final pick, I think a lot of people did as well. They're watching at home after game 1, where we saw obviously Liquid pick the Lesh against the TA this time round. You know, they go with it again. They believe in it.
Much
Wish
stronger
is confident
in this game.
True. Yeah, I mean, and again, what we saw from Brame when they played against Tundra, where they also smashed the game with the gyro. Here we're seeing it come back again for Focus, and of course this gyro IO pairing, something that other than the few slip-ups here and there from Spartan, you know, it's that synergy, it's that sort of duo, that ability to play sort of these heroes that work so well hand in hand, and as a team, and as Brame has shown us, just, you know, their synergy, their team play is on a very, very impressive level. They've really come together as a squad, and in games like this, especially when it gets as late as it does, there is going to be the upper hand for the team that's been together compared to the team that's obviously playing with a change with the stand-in. Yeah. And Brame certainly showed that. They played masterfully, other than sort of the hiccups here for Spartan in the late game, which made it just that more interesting, and we're on the edge of our seats. You know, Brame's late game play was excellent around their 2 cores.
Yeah, we all know that, you know, Spartan can be a little bit... well, high on emotions sometimes in games where things go well for his squad, and he will run in head first multiple times, no matter the hero he plays. But as Owen said, that just made it all the more enjoyable. We're going to listen to Purge as he talks about towers and tower defense.
Thanks, Super. Yeah, I loved what Team Liquid did this game to pressure the map at a really up pace. Spectre was mega struggling in his lane. He got really destroyed. They died so much in the safe lane. But what Liquid did to pressure the game was really effective. Here's a Leshrac showing up in the safe lane at 6 freaking minutes with the first catapult. Here's the gyrocopter, level 4 with the level 7 like terrifying Leshrac in his lane. He absolutely can't contest that. Sumail just walking over the lane with the first catapult guarantees the tower is killed, and this opens up a lot of the map because now Team Liquid basically doesn't have to worry about playing here, and it's a lot more flexible. And what this does is it opens up their heroes to do more things on the map. And the other thing is that as a result of Centaur dumpstering his lane, this forces Centaur to go do other things on the map because Sand King is dead now. Sand King, I'll take a little zoom on the map. Sand King dead with this tower dead. He basically gets to defend either mid or the off lane if he really wants to. And if he just sits top against the Centaur, then Centaur can't easily take this tower like normally he would. Usually Centaur like wins the lane by getting a fast Vanguard or other tanky item, and then he just blows up your safe lane tower and then goes to the mid lane. Kind of similar to what Leshrac has been doing this game. But because Sumail made that early rotation and got that tower, it forces more hero resources to try to slow down and offset what Leshrac's doing, because it's going to create a lot of space and make it easier for them to invade against the TA and things like that. So here's the Sand King now teleporting to the top lane. Centaur realizes like, uh-oh, I can't actually deal with this lane anymore. So he ends up moving across the map to try to offset this. He tries to shut down the Leshrac's positioning. They put Lina in the off lane so that somebody can still get gold and experience there, even if they don't anticipate taking the tower. And then Centaur has to plant his butt here while the TA hits stacks. And that's one of the downsides of the TA, is that this 6 to 10 minute mark, you spend a lot of time hitting those ancient camps, which means you're not pushing a creep wave because it just wouldn't be as efficient. And then Centaur gets on the map by getting ganks. They did a really good job killing the Spectre here on the bot lane. That was very successful, good for them. But then the problem is that Centaur, normally they're a really strong hero, just has to deal with the strong magic damage output that's coming out of Liquid. And the pressure that they can exert using Leshrac against TA in this period of the game was just a little bit too much. They got more towers, opened up the map, and everything looked okay for Liquid, but ultimately Brame just crushed so many mid-game team fights, and TA was so far ahead that the game was definitely very winnable for Brame.
very winnable for Brame indeed. So winnable that they actually did win. And that means we're going to get more Dota between these two teams. Game 3 of this best of 3 right around the corner. See you soon. There is so much on the line for this game, for especially Team Liquid. Their goal is not just to, you know, do well this season. Their goal is to make it to the major, but not even that. Their goal is to make it to TI. And to make it to TI, you need to ideally get top in your group, which is already going to be pretty difficult considering they lost the series against Alliance. And second, well, maybe second place would be nice, but they can't afford to lose that many series, especially not against Brame. And it's tied 1-1. Who's going to take this game? We're going to find out. We're in the draft, almost in the draft with Game 3. I'm here with OD Pixel, here with BSJ, and yeah, oh, and there is so much on the line for this series.
There is, and I think after that Game 2, you know, it just goes to show this series really could go either way. I think coming into this series, we said, you know, that Brame, considering the way that they have played in the other series that they have, sure they lost against OG, but great stuff against Tundra. You know, this team does have a lot of potential. After Game 1, it was a bit of like, okay, maybe the King's back and things are going to be hard for Brame today. But after that Game 2, you know, there's no telling which way this third game is going to go. And I think we're all very excited because we're going to get to see more Dota from these two teams. And potentially a different hero for the King. You know, will they go for the Lesh again for Sumail? Will we see something different? For Brame, I don't know if we'll see something different. I think there's every reason to just throw out Wish's TA again if you're able to keep it safe with the bans, because that last game performance really was quite something. And even in game 1 where they lost, Wish still had a good time.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if they let them get a late pick TA this time around. Because last game we were talking about when we saw the TA, we were not very excited about it. And the only thing we could come up with is this must just be his comfort pick. Like, you're asking him, hey, what are you going to carry us with this game? And he said, you know, I've played TA 1,000 times. We're going to win it with it. So I trust him after that performance. That was not an easy TA game. That was not against the Oracle Disarm, against the less damage over time, Radiant Spectre. It's not like a carry you particularly feel good about, like blinking onto. So very impressive performance there. It goes to show that sometimes, as long as you got all like decent of the boxes checked, it just comes down to individual skill on a hero.
Yeah, and Brame this game will have overall 10th pick again, so they can set Wish up for success again. We'll see if that TA will be on the banning side of things. In the game, we also do have the respect ban for Lina. We saw Lina win 2 games in a row on the 4 position, and it was just very, very strong.
Make sure you spam it as long as you can, Sheath.
I'm doing it. I'm trying to get a game in every day.
I imagine whenever C comes out,
it'll be nerfed.
It'll be nerfed, yeah.
Sag. We got Centaur picked up again, though. Should Centaur not also be nerfed? It's also been doing quite well.
Might just be Vanguard that gets nerfed. I don't even know if you need to nerf the
Vanguard. That
is fair.
Buyers.
I mean, the balancing of Vanguard seems tricky, right? Because in the previous patch, it was hardly ever brought, right? It kind of went for never bought to sort of every game brought when you have the right offlaner now.
Well, we heard Purge's analysis of how it works with minus armor early, and it goes from blocking like all the damage to eventually doing virtually nothing. So it's an item that you either get it super early and you're unkillable, or you can't really buy it at all. Like it's a weird item.
Unless you need to build up an Abyssal. But then again, nowadays I guess Abyssal's kind of a less favored item.
Yeah, Abyssal kind of sucks now, and none of the offlaners buy Abyssal.
No.
So. Yeah, it's just a weird item, but I think you just need to make either give it like a 100 or 200 gold recipe. I think would be fine, because when they made it so Vit Booster got 100 gold cheaper, it makes a difference getting it 1 or 2 creeps like earlier on in the game when you're having such a timing based item.
This will be the first game this season that Liquid picks up the Earth Spirit.
I mean, Tiger was probably still is one of the best at the business, isn't it?
True.
I'm excited to see sort of the change of a pace, because we've just had 2 games from Liquid where both times around they had a very defensive 5. We're going to see a bit more aggression, or, potentially from Insania with him on the Grim Stroke this game round. That is, of course, if it is him. You know, we have seen, of course, some core Grim Strokes. I mean, Grim Stroke in a pretty ridiculous place right now. A hero that was already great. Did get buffed many times with a lot of little changes. So there is versatility with this hero. I personally would be very excited to see Sumail take it mid, but probably won't happen. Probably is just a Senia, but there's a chance. This Grim might be something else than just the support.
Yeah, we got 2 assassins banned out, as well as Morphling, TAPA.
Yeah, what an annoying hero Lion is. Lina and Lion, probably the most annoying 4s right now. Lina because of the lane, Lion because of the rest of the game. You're just dealing with 6 seconds of disable with, 800 damage, level 12.
Yep. What made Brame go for the Brood ban this game? What's different this game compared to the previous 2? That they're this early is like, you know what? Don't want to deal with that.
Maybe they're just not willing to lose game 3 to a Brood.
I feel like they had about the same type of heroes going into this stage of the draft. The previous games, they had a Centaur plus a ranged support. So I don't see why any other reason. Maybe TA was their planned response to Brood. Maybe that's why. So when TA got banned out, they banned the Brood. That's the best option I can think of. Wonder why they leaned away from Mag now for Liquid. Like why they thought it was good for the 1 game and that's it. It looked really powerful.
It did.
Quake played it really well.
Maybe they think it needs Lina to work.
Yeah.
Could be. We do have still, of course, got an offlaner to go, so perhaps this game will make a comeback.
Yeah, Mag Earth Spirit not nearly as scary as a Mag Lina.
I think there's quite a bit of a chance that they might think about getting the Darkseer this game for Quakefer. Was one of the ones who's playing a lot in the pubs. Excellent with the lead in from Earth Spirit.
I'm down for a Sven Darkseer.
Yeah.
Because you got Sven to work with the Grimstroke. Lane's pretty well against the Lion Centaur, I think. And then, yeah, the Darkseer synergy. That's a classic. Darkseer Sven. I'm actually so ready for that exact combo right now.
It would be very liquid.
Well, we'll be dealing with the
Sven,
Juggernaut.
baby, right into that jug. War cry for that Omni Slash. Get in there. Mickey's like licking his chops. He's like, I was picking Sven last patch, baby. I'm ready.
I mean, what else would he want to play against Spectre?
Good. Against the Juggernaut?
Inspect?
Sorry, against the Juggernaut.
Ursa is an option too, but I think with Grimstroke and you're against Lion, you'd rather have a stun on your carry. Sani is debating. He's like, am I picking Sven third or am I picking it fourth? Oh, they go for the Chronosphere. Okay.
Would almost forget about that hero. We have seen it do quite well. And Mickey, also one of the players that did quite well with it against Team Nigma the other day.
Yeah, that's been the deciding hero in a lot of the series. The OG series, the Alliance series.
No, I like it. And I think what we have seen picked against Jug before, which has been very effective, is the combination of Void and Slardar. You know, you sort of have these two heroes that are going to...
Or Magnus.
Or Mag, that's true, actually.
Oh,
Mag
and you
very
know
much
what
still
is
a chance here.
really nice is damage through the Chrono.
Yeah.
Invoker. Oh, they go for Razor. Too bad. So sad.
Probably a Sumail Razor here, you think? Or
No,
is
it's
it,
Quake. It's Quake for Razor.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have a lane that should give you really no issues, and generally speaking, you want a ranged offlaner with Earth Spirit.
All right.
You don't want to go double melee. So we were talking about going for the amping up of the Void, but they've opted to make Jug's game harder to play.
Yeah.
Which is another route.
I think against the Oracle, of course, Darkseer is never going to feel good, and any sort of those buffs, as you said, also.
Yeah, that Oracle might have been a preemptive Darkseer thing.
Yeah. It seemed like Liquid were prepared for that because that Razor was very quickly picked up, so we're ready to sort of go for something else, or just weren't thinking about Darkseer at all.
Yeah, I'm just a bit concerned for Liquid because Centaur's pretty good against everything they have other than Chrono. Like, all these other heroes, they have, like, slows and, like, temporary lockdown that with the Stampede can disengage. Like, Razor, I don't think conceptually is very nice against Centaur. You have a lot of burst damage coming out from Brame. They don't have any saves on Liquid. Yeah, I'm just a bit concerned if the lanes don't go well for Liquid that they would actually struggle to ever get the fights that they want. Like, they have a lot of skirmish potential, so as long as the lanes go fine, they should be good to get it off. But they actually banned the Tinker. Now, that would have been an interesting pick.
And yeah, the Invoker's still banned.
So you want something else to throw into the Chronosphere?
Death Prophet? No, Death Prophet.
DP's kind of a dead hero.
I mean, I hate to say it, but is this like, could it possibly be Lesh again, or no? Is that just too good with the Oracle Jug against it already?
I don't think he wants to play
How
Lesh
about
yet.
some OD?
Nah, OD's a little too slow, I think.
I'm just throwing out some spicy pick that I know they'll never pick.
Uzi banning Tinker for. See what he wants to lane.
Puck.
Puck.
It's not exactly a lot of damage.
It's a lot of control, a lot of silence, but I think you're absolutely right, Brian. If they get behind, these Chronospheres are going to feel rather underwhelming.
Yeah.
I think they realized they had the Stampede issue, is why they picked this Puck. It's like, right now they can kind of just walk away from us. Puck does counter that.
Could you end this with a mag mid for Brame?
I think your hero has to be able to lane against Razor as well as Puck.
Sure,
I think they could swap it up.
That's
Because Puck could reasonably offlane here too, I think. So you have to consider what hero does okay against Puck, but also could lane against Razor. A lot of the Razor counters are countered by Puck. Viper, maybe?
Still in the pool? Yeah.
I'd be down for some Viper.
Viper,
That's a super exciting hero.
Very irritating again for the Void.
Yep.
You get that puddle down and suddenly it just always feels bad chronoing.
They have plenty of lockdown. Like, I don't mind an anti-carry in the mid lane here.
Well, they're taking their time.
I don't know if it's really Wish's style, though. He seems like the guy that wants to take over the game.
Oh,
There you go.
For the Death Prophet.
Prophet.
That does lane against both of those heroes.
Sure.
It's also nice against Razor, one of the few heroes that can get linked and just kill him anyway. You dish out damage while you're chronoed. You have the Oracle save to synergize. I honestly like Brame's lineup way better than I like Liquid's. And they proved last game that they are quite capable of competing with Liquid.
I think this is going to be one of those games where you're going to see a chrono and not a lot's going to happen. I'm a little concerned for the follow-up that Liquid have. If they don't play it perfectly at the start against Brame, I think, yeah, Brame's got a great lineup.
Yeah, I don't mean to jinx him, but...
Yeah, you kind of jinxed Liquid last time around.
Yeah, I did.
You both liked the draft of Liquid better that time. So that time already Brame won. So this is like really Brame favorite.
This is giving me like the game 1 vibes where it just seems like Liquid's draft is harder to play.
Okay.
Than Brame's, like in reverse.
I mean...
Like one lineup's just very straightforward. You have Jug to sit behind the DP with Healing Ward and then go in once the Chrono's been thrown down. Centaur to take the early pressure because he does well lane against Void.
No, absolutely. I mean, yeah, Healing Ward with the DP.
Complicated. That's the thing. It's not complicated, and I think you've got all the boxes checked. There's no like you have objective taking, you have catch.
Yeah, this line. You know, you're picking the Sumail, but there's a line in the game. You've got to be ready for the hexes from the line, the silences from the Death Prophet. It's not an easy game for him to jump around. He's probably going to have to get something defensive early on, but even the Yules this game doesn't feel too great because they're going to have stuns for you on the way down. This Centaur, if it's anything like we saw in game 2, you know, Skylight had a smashing game. So this is, this is not an easy game for Liquid.
Is the pressure on Sumail, on his puck, to perform and basically set a good tempo, or is the Void really
it's pressure on Sumail to shut down the Death Prophet's early momentum, and then it's pressure on the Void to get that one good chrono. Like just like at like 7 minutes in, I'm talking like the chrono that shuts down the initial momentum. Yes, yeah.
Okay. Well,
this is gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a great game, and I think Brame's gonna do.
I think they're geared up.
Yeah.
As much as I doubted them going into the series.
There's no place for doubters here. We're going to have a fantastic game as far as my panel is concerned, and we're going to head over to Cap and Kyle for it.
Well, I do hope we have a good game. After all, it's game 3 between Liquid and Brame, after Brame did indeed prove that they can bring down Liquid at least once. Let's see if they can do it again. Kyle, you believe in their draft? Seems like our panel certainly did.
I think so. On paper, it definitely looks like they have all the answers. Void best answered by Hex mechanics. They've got one. And then also a hard save for the Chronosphere to target. Very concerned. Liquid, this is kind of their bread and butter style, though. You know, semi-independent cores, active supports with a ton of disable. They can outplay Brame, no question, but the Void's damage in Chrono is limited. There's no steroid for him. And the team fight and sustain of Brame is quite strong.
You know, when I saw the first 3 picks of Liquid, I really thought they were going to go for an Invoker, for Quaswix Invoker, Sumail Invoker as well, where you have that, you could have had that style of what OG saw. Right, where they just give a bunch of buffs. I believe they had both Grimstroke and Invoker in that situation, where they gave him Alacrity and they gave him Inkswell, and he just went in and went ham. Instead, they didn't get any more steroids for Void.
This is going to be way more of the one-man show. Sumail on his puck should have a decent time against the Death Prophet mid, but I think he's going to have an incredible time for them to take this win.
They're going to go ahead. They already stealing away so much damage away from Focus. They're going to chase him down. Yeah, Sumail, he's going to get the last couple of shots in. That should be enough, indeed. First blood. And Koifa barely managing to dodge death there. Snowman's going to be run down as well. There's going to be 2 kills. Fortunately, Spartan was able to get that kill onto Koifa. He is out in no man's land. They make sure to give the kill on Snowman to Mikke.
Yep. Really well done. Immediate TPs to top lane, catching the creeps. Works out quite well for Liquid, especially since First Blood went to Sumail. Did he? Oh, and he rushed a null, didn't he? Yeah, I like that decision a lot. No need to get a fast bottle. Get the extra stats.
And there it is. Spartan getting the kill on the off lane. Koifa. Once again, we're going to see Koifa playing a mid laner in the off lane position. Something that I'm sure we're going to get more and more well accustomed to.
Starting the game with a fluffy hat.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I dig that because you're not dying to right clicks, right? It'll be the Oracle burst damage with the spin. So now you just link during spin and you're going to be quite strong. I can dig it.
Look at Spartan challenging Koifa. He knows that the Razor needs to be able to stick on top of the Juggernaut and feel comfortable doing so in order to win this lane. And Spartan just always making sure Koifa's a bit low on health. Trying to secure these last hits. They're going to actually go for an aggressive kill onto Koifa here. Koifa starts taking away the damage. It's going to go into the tower range, but Koifa, is he dead? Oh, the last shot comes in from Spartan. Fortunately, the long range of the Purifying Flames is able to secure the kill.
I think you'll take that if you're Koifa, though. You get all these creeps coming into tower as you respawn. You got all the mana of Oracle, so Spartan's really no longer a hero in this lane unless he gets regen.
Sumail jumping over for the water runes. Wish will take the one on the other side.
Yeah, be careful though. Sumail's looking to orbit. little late on that dodge there, my man. Still coming back in the swing of things.
Meanwhile, we on the other side of things, Skylark, the offlaner for Brame, Centaur for the third game.
Hey, something understated from that last game is keep in mind, Mickey on Spectre got absolutely destroyed in lane.
Yep.
And if there's anything I think Liquid change here, it's making sure that they'll have a better time in the safe lane. Yeah, Spartan going to die. It's a product of having not nearly enough mana or HP to sustain. But, you know, that was a 6-0 Spectre to 27-15 Centaur. So that really didn't... Like, it was as bad for Liquid as possible, really. This is already looking much more promising. 3-minute runes. A nice ward, though, placed. You can see they're going to spot the rotation of the Earth Spirit. This is very prescient. Whenever you're playing against an active mid, and, no, the one down there by Brown. Yeah, that one. That's the, when you have an active 4 position roaming, you need this defensive ward more than you need high ground vision.
Spartan shows himself, and immediately Taiga tries to go for the roll, but misses. Ends up in tower range, too, so that's a little awkward. Battling it out, Mickey. Giving the ink swell. He is going to be stomped here. He's got 12 magic stick charges, so he can certainly keep fighting. He's got a time walk to do, if he wanted to, try and keep up, but deems it not worth. Mid lane is being won by Sumail right now, but not super dominantly or anything. Wish making sure to pull the creeps with him when he goes to the water rune. Something that very few times I've played mid, I realized how do these mids feel comfortable going for these water runes so often? You got to pull the creep wave with you.
Yep. Oh.
Jumping over, they go into the support this time around. The ink swell is going to do a ton of damage. Now he does have a nuke coming up. He can throw it out. He'll get a good amount of damage on it. Mickey, they may even kill Mickey here. No time walk up for him, and he gets bursted down. He had magic wand charges, but he didn't pop it. I don't think he expected the double edge to come up that fast.
Yeah, no points return. Just max out W. So much burst. Double edge, 180 plus 80% strength. So yeah, like 200 damage. Double edge stun, double edge. That's...
Yeah, how many charges did Mickey have on his wand? 6 charges. Okay, so 5 before.
There was a weird hesitation when he went for the line, though. You saw that, right? Where he just kind of backed off for a step.
I think he was afraid. I think he thought that maybe Impale was up or something.
It was still on cooldown, unfortunately. But nice kill from Brame. I think that for Liquid to take this, it's really going to have to be the Sumail show. The first blood gave him the null. He's out to a nice start middle. But will he be able to get kills? Coil's ready. He will be going for that Witchblade build that Yopaj has popularized.
Do you feel like you see a difference in Liquid and how they play or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I mean Sumail's standing in for Boxy, so.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Kyle. That's very. I mean, as a whole, is Liquid playing different because they have Sumail in this mid role and Koifa in the off lane? Or do you feel like it's still the same general Liquid game plan as they're going to be running down Skylark?
It doesn't feel like anything's changed.
Okay.
I think that maybe the Razor would have been more of a Boxy hero, but Other than that, I'd say it's pretty standard.
You see Koifa keeping his distance because he knows the Lions around here as well. So he does a nice job of that.
Nice.
Really good read.
God.
That was a sick one. The kick is still going to be able to land, and they'll still get the kill onto the line.
You know, this being in Europe, I've become more of a football fan, and that's the sort of thing. You know, it didn't score a goal, but that was a good cross. You know, that was well defended. Unfortunately, he dies anyway. But I don't know if that was planned. It looks planned. That's nuts.
That is pretty insane. Great read. But yes, nothing really changes for him. He still dies. The Exorcism was used in the mid lane. They're going to coil this Death Prophet and kick him out. That's the Taiga specialty right there. Sumail, he's played with some grade 4s, but I would say Taiga is one of the most well-experienced Earth Spirits in the world, and also plays with a lot of puck.
They are feeling themselves now. And actually, I take back what I said. If this is a boxy Liquid, I don't even know if it's a Koifa puck, right?
Yeah,
it might
boxy
be Mickey.
puck. Yeah.
Or boxy, exactly. But Sumail, he'll ask for this last pick. He's such a fan of the hero. Definitely his style. And the support duo. It's getting spooky.
They have so many every single hero of theirs combos with Inkswell. So Insania is going to have a fun time with this game, I think.
This is the Liquid style. Like, oh my god, more spells.
Chronosphere, the roll-in actually does land right as the Chronosphere falls. He did the delayed rock drop.
This is the Liquid style, right? Like, the 2 supports running around the map, all 3 cores able to lane themselves, and yeah, there isn't like some natural huge timing spike or synergy. They're just going to kill you over and over and over.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Brame's very clear timing, right?
Yeah.
Like, we've got big team fight on these guys.
Yep. Battle Fury is the build. It's going to be all about survivability. You got Oracle DP, one of the best combos. Like the build. This is one of the reasons I think Death Prophet mid should come back. The change to Crypt Swarm, max mana cost went from 160 to 125, and they took 0.37 seconds as well off the backswing. So it's way more efficient as a farming tool, specifically for mid Death Prophets. You can actually clear stacks efficiently now.
In previous patch, they made the casting animation better as well.
Yeah.
It shoots out like instantly when you click it. It feels great.
That's another one. You look back at, try playing Death Prophet a few patches back. That was painful.
3-10, 1,000 net worth lead for Liquid right now. And you'd see a decent amount of that is the difference between the puck and the Death Prophet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
That Witchblade is going to be big. Nice stacks from Sumail.
You see 700 gold from kills and assists. That's where the extra gold comes in. He's got a haste rune as well, so look for another attempted kill on the horizon. Whether or not that actually works, we'll have to see. Stampede is coming up, so that may help some people out. But Skylark having the worst laning phase of all 3 games here. And yeah, they're going to pop the Exorcism and make sure Koifa does not get away here. Surely they have a stun or something to kick out Koifa. He's going to be good. Taiga puts his body on the line and TP's out successfully as well. Sick combo.
Yo,
well
he better get some tips. Koifa, that's the wrong person. Wish did what he was supposed to do. Your boy just saved you. That was sick from Taiga. The roll-in kick away, recognizing that the Lion CCs are still down, and he just teleports out in front of him. No Yules on Wish, so easy peasy.
Panel, if you're listening and you do get Koifa, be sure to ask about that moment. Why'd you tip Wish over Taiga? There's a bit of all chatting going on as well.
Taiga's what, like an 11.5K player? Yeah. This is par for the course. If he didn't save him there, he'd be disappointed, but you don't get praise for making a normal play.
Catching Taiga. And he goes in, and they do manage to quickly kill Spartan before Wish can show up here. The Lion is still sticking around and does run into the puck there for a second, but he's got to be careful. The coil is still here from the puck. He's going to throw it out now. Jumps the other side right as the Impale is used. The Inkswell is not even needed as they kill the second support. Omni Slash now going on to Insania, bounces over, Taiga kicks him away in a, get away from me. I don't want this Omni Slash.
That could have worked. It was close. Yeah. Just stuck with him. Sumail is certainly feeling himself. That's a very early Witchblade timing, and the one downside of the support duo is that you pretty much just feed a puck. You know, you get coiled, you get clicked, you're gonna die.
Even more so in this patch than others, right? Where you've got the Witchblade as added damage on the puck. If your combo doesn't kill him, then just a single right click adds like almost a 300 damage nuke in there.
Yep. Thing to note though is that the Mickey Void went for a Mask of Madness, whereas Focus is rushing a Battle Fury. So yeah, it's a gold lead for Liquid, but they're investing in the now. Brame looking later for their power spike.
So for you to judge Liquid's game as being like successful, you would need them to like take some towers soon or something like that, right? If you're investing in the now, you want to see now outcomes.
The trouble is that their draft really doesn't take towers naturally. It's about, you know, we'll get 3-4 kills.
Yeah.
We'll click the tower as 5. That's their MO.
Yeah, they essentially have to kill and kill and kill. And maybe get a tower. You see that reflected in just the kill score, 4 and 12. Yule Scepter for the Death Prophet, that'll be really big. Brame stacking more than they were the previous 2 games. They're actually kind of keeping pace with Liquid.
Yeah, Sona is also just newly hit 6. Love to
Zania, they're going to spot him. The silence goes out first. Now the Inkswell, Taiga. Oh, the Stampede away. Run, 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 run. He's going to be able to dodge some of that. But Koifa's there on the other side to try and catch up. Sumail is pushing out some damage onto Wish right now. He gets purged off, so the Witchblade not going to do as much. Brame, they didn't pop Exorcism or anything, just the Stampede, so it's not like they blew anything massive. Skylark, what's he doing on this side? They've got a Chronosphere if they want to try and keep him in place. Allies are making their way over. But Mickey, he doesn't feel the need to. They've got the coil, that's good enough.
Sumail now with a Blink Dagger. Thought he was considering buying bots. Seen Abed do that a few times, just play map control, but taking the more active route. And yeah, it's tough game for Brame. Like, their team fight's great, but they don't really have any initiation or true catch. Stomina is 0-4-2, not having a good time at all, and there's a Puck Earth Spirit constantly hunting him. TP coming in from Skylark, but they're gonna see that.
Oh, nice hacks. Taiga, he's tanky, no doubt, especially with the raindrops there, but it's still a finger of death. It'll put him in the grave.
We got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him, and we got a Battle Fury, too. So that's complete for the Juggernaut. Their big tower's still up. So this timing, not too bad. Not too bad for Brame at all.
Yep. And an immediate Triple Ancient stack, that always does feel good. The big downside is just that, again, they'll have the Blink on Centaur. That's up next. 50 gold away. Just how do you...
Okay, purging off the double damage. That'll certainly help you out here, but Skylark is in some trouble. He gets run down by the Taiga Koifa combination. Stomanin does manage to get the hex onto Sumail. He's getting quite low, but Spartan, he's not able to do quite enough damage, and Wish doesn't want to be able to break the coil. Koifa's going to be able to Inkswell himself out of here. The coil, it finally fades, so Wish can back up with a freshly healed up Death Prophet, but unfortunately, he can't stick on to anybody. They lose the mid tower in the process. Kyle, this is getting real dark and gloomy now for Brame.
Liquid playing their draft.
All right, we definitely got to ask him. I feel like there's history between Koifa and Wish or something. There's something going on here for sure.
Did they tip him in the last game?
When we were talking about the Taiga tip?
Yeah.
That's the last time they tip him, but I don't remember tipping in the previous game now.
Neither do I. Huh. This is the heat map you love to see. Just an extension of the mid lane. Sumail asserting dominance across his domain. Now with bots about to be en route, Liquid, the slaughter will not stop. This is the game plan. Control enemy jungle, control vision, and just kill these Brame supports specifically. It is near impossible to play Lion at this stage because you just can't live. Like, anything on top of you, you're forced to spam spells just to buy a little bit of space. A Juggernaut with the Battle Fury Rush, you can't help. You're just farming for a couple more items before you really want to get involved. At least level 2 Omni Slash is a necessity.
To bottom lane here. It's the Finger of Death. It's not quite up. He needs 15 seconds. If they had it, they could try and go for this kill. It'd still be a bit difficult. He's got 1,500 HP, closer to 1,700 when he moves over to Strength.
I like the build a lot. I think if he goes Battle Fury, he can't be nearly as active. That kill on Jug certainly doesn't happen.
Yeah.
The Maelstrom into the Sange for the status resist. You really don't die as Void in this game if you just live through that stun lock.
Oh, Mickey's going to come back. Now they can go. Skylark spotted for a moment. They've already thrown up the stun. Impale follow-up and the Finger of Death. Is it enough? Yeah, they got him. They got him indeed. The Hex was there at the end. So a big, big kill that Brame was very, very patient to be able to get. But the rest of Liquid, they want revenge, and they have immediately found Wish. No hope for him to get out of this one alive. Focus does manage to bring down Insanity with the Omni Slash. He's got to spin TP out, though, to survive.
It's very odd. Wish had a Yols up that entire time, just didn't cast it. Might not have saved him, but it could have helped.
Coil by himself, Sumail reading the Impale incoming. Managed to phase shift that, but nothing will really come of his initiation. Skylark actually kind of wants to go back in. He's got the heal from the Oracle anyway.
Yeah, you can see the Liquid situation is definitely solid, but Brame are very much in this game. Liquid, like, they have to be in this position if they want to win.
Yeah.
They need a significant kill lead. They need map control because they don't have any natural method of ending the game. There's no huge spike. It's just our heroes will get farm, we'll kill you, we'll buy more items. Meanwhile, Brame, the BKB window on Death Prophet, Juggernaut getting more levels of Omni Slash and continuing to scale faster because of that Battle Fury purchase. He's neck and neck with Mickey, has now surpassed him. We'll look to see him expand on that lead.
Insania, depending on your perspective, either wrong place, wrong time, or right place, right time. He breaks the 4-man smoke, but he does lose his life and his ward.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Probably saves Mickey there, though. So we'll call it worth. Whenever I see a 5-position die alone, they broke a smoke, they placed a ward, you know what?
Worth.
Value.
You wish you didn't lose your ward, but...
Yeah, the ward hurts.
Say I love you.
The ward hurts. They're thinking about mid. They do have the kill potential.
All right, so Kyle, speaking of this draft specifically, you're saying Liquid, they need a way to be able to find more objectives. The biggest one is Roshan. How are they able to do that? Because their lineup doesn't take Roshan.
Just
kill
kill
him
them.
over. Okay. Just kill them, lol.
That has seemed to be the Game 3 Liquid strat a lot of the time, is just, you know, they... Aiden and I have spoke many times, rule number 1 of Dota 2 drafting, gotta have stuns. Last game, not enough stuns.
Was that not a Han rule?
That was, yeah, it was Han. It goes back a decade. You gotta have stuns. Don't not have stuns.
Inkswell. He may not want to be able to step to Koifa. He is getting low, though. The Exorcism doing a lot of damage. They do manage to bring him down. Liquid, they did not have enough to back him up, or maybe they didn't expect Brame, all 5 of them, to be at this bottom tier 2. But Brame is saying, no, you're not taking any tier 2s for free.
Well, Liquid, they don't have the team fight. They have the skirmish. You can't go on a Death Prophet when you don't see the Oracle, especially if his ult's already running. Doesn't matter how much you lock him down, those ghosts are still going to be dealing damage.
Now, what if the Exorcism is gone? What if you initiate on somebody else the silence into the Inkswell stun and a 3-man Chronosphere? That's going to be a lot. The Juggernaut is still survived thanks to the Fate's Edict, but now a bash comes in at the right time and turn around and stun. A 2-man stun with the Omni Slash allowed to be able to go off. It's bouncing over, but ultimately he dies without getting a kill. Her Spirit's low, though, and it looks like Wish should be able to pick up that one, but the Coil is going to make sure the Centaur's not going anywhere. Mickey rushing in to the left with Sumail joining him with the Inkswell stun onto 2. They've locked them both down with the support dead. It's just Wish. He bought back for that, right? Or did he?
No.
Okay.
But he did not have Exorcism. So that's how Liquid do it, right? They bait Koifa. Did Koifa buy back? No. He just respawned. Okay.
Just respawned.
So that was just 4 on 5 pretty much, yeah. But they wait or bait the Exorcism by throwing a body at it. And a great chrono from Mickey. You see him immediately identify, oh, I got Oracle too. And they kill off Oracle first. Jug gets Omni off, but wasn't able to spit, didn't drop Healing Ward during it.
Yeah, he got so low, he was just like, I have to get off this Omni Slash, and
that was that.
He had no HP when he came back.
Yeah, Stomina did not get off his finger either. Does have the Philly Stone though, so should have Blink up shortly. But so far, it's just the Sumail show. 9-0-4, Ags on the way, 500 gold off. He is feeling himself, and at this level of farm, especially with that Arcane Rune bottle, like he can just straight up take over this game at this point.
And you said Liquid, their lineup just comes down to kill, 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 kill. Skylark, they spotted him. He's over there. Mickey's going to jump to the other side, but the damage has already been done. He's been caught by the coil, so you can see Stoneman. He just says, my Centaur is dead. I'm going to make sure I stay alive. Liquid, they finally may have killed enough to be able to take a tier 2.
Yeah, they are in a very strong position now. Koifa has his BKB. Mickey, again, finding the cloak, man. That is such a good item in a game like this. Or the shawl. When you already have so much base armor, thanks to being an agility hero, a free 25% magic resist is pretty nuts.
Yeah. Combine that with the status resistance he has from the Sanj, he can very fearlessly just time lock in like he did against that Centaur. He seemed to not care at all if there was a line.
It's also super fit. You have bashes or magic damage, and the Maelstrom procs. So even a little bit of spell amp's not bad.
True, true, true. SNY complete now for the Juggernaut. The problem is Liquid's getting enough kills that the Void is staying ahead of the Juggernaut despite the Battle Fury build.
Yep. It's the Sumail, well, the puck factor. The fact that they got so many kills to start. There's the BKB on the DP, but Liquid, their strength in this game is pace.
All right. That same ward caught them before, so Smart knew about it, but Liquid making sure to protect their vision.
Brame, if Brame, or rather Liquid, was willing to take a fight more revolutionary war style, you know, line up and walk at us, that'd be Brame's. They'd be happy with that, but they're not giving it to him. It's just constant pickoffs in and out. Brame want an opportunity to land a couple stuns, pop the DPL to Omni, like a controlled fight in as small of an area as possible. Liquid want to use as much space as they can get.
And that guerrilla warfare becomes more and more deadly as Brame become more desperate to be able to get out on the map and be able to find some farm somewhere. Right now it feels like the triangle is the only place that's safe for them. Gonna go Scotty, third item for focus.
Yeah, game gets very spooky now though because of that Ags on puck. It's the reason this hero still is dominant across and picked in all regions. There's really just nothing to answer this coil.
An Arcane Rune for Sumail as well with his level 18. This is a huge power spike, and Liquid immediately are going to smoke up and use it.
Chrono's ready.
They don't have Koifa, but he's on his way.
He's going to show mid.
They have the new Inkswell shard. Doesn't quite get given out right away. Goes over to Taiga, and he does manage to land into the Juggernaut, who's silenced up for a second. Focus, he'll be okay, but their supports may not be so lucky. Actually, Stampede does get him away, and Liquid, they say that's great. They pop Stampede, they popped Exorcism. If we just get out, that's a win.
Yeah, really heads up by Liquid. Again, just play around the cooldowns. Don't take a fight into a prepared Brame. Poke and prod him. Get the cooldowns. Get out. Liquid, they're not running on a clock. Like, they're always ready to go. Low CDs on all spells. And now they can freely take Roche. Yes, Chronosphere, but he didn't use it. That's their ace in the hole.
It feels like in some ways Brame should have been more aggressive there. Like, when they pop BKB, Exorcism, and Stampede, like, now it's not the time to back away from a fight. Now's the time to take one.
They did catch a really nice silence on Mickey. I thought they might turn for him there. If they can go for, like, there's no save for the Void. If they take him out, yes, Sumail's damage can be annoying, but it's not enough to kill anybody. It's
they're already on the other side of the map. As they were doing Roshan, they went fishing for kills, and they caught a big one, boy. Focus.
Know your place.
Lost focus, lost his life. Mickey, no bash.
Bashed immediately afterwards.
That's how it goes. Courier hunting. Don't think they'll find it.
You can see Brame, they're just trying to find any farm they can. The Centaur and his Oracle Spartan, he's just chilling out in the triangle, taking this farm away from them. things get dicey, they can blink and stampede away. But in the meantime, they don't have a way to hold areas against Liquid's constant incursions.
Yeah, the builds, like Taiga has Hood Vanguard. It's just, they recognize Brame's damage is somewhat limited. It's really reliant on cooldowns, the Omni Slash, the DP ult, so this allows them to play just insanely aggressive. I feel like we've seen nearly every fight start with a Taiga roll.
Skylark, Stampede, but the coil's there. They'll immediately kick him out of it to make sure it snaps. And Snowman on the other side of the map is also caught. Mickey will collect that kill as well. So another 2 freebies for Liquid as they now sitting at 13,000 net worth lead. They've got the outposts. They've got the rest of these tier 2s to take.
You can see the smiles on Cam too. They're feeling themselves. Definitely feeling confident. They still are just holding on to this chrono. Aegis as well on Mickey. So now it's just a matter of collecting towers.
Constantly healing up Focus preemptively here, but he's been silenced so many times. The Chronosphere is going to be used here, and they're going to start zapping away on his damage. The Ghost is going to land shortly after, but he does manage to get the spin off first, but the healing ward, it doesn't keep him alive. Mickey does a bit too much damage. They don't have a buyback for him, so Liquid is looking like Elena Barracks now as Mickey just casually jumps in, gets off the time dilation. They actually wanted to be able to jump in onto Sumail, but Sumail dodged the damage. He dodged the hoof stomp. Snowman doesn't get off the Hex in time. He turns around, throws it onto Taiga, which the Exorcism may be enough to actually kill him. The Yule Scepter to prevent him from being able to dodge away, but it doesn't matter. The reinforcements are here, and Taiga's fine. It's Brame. We're going to fall apart. Ultra kill for Koipa. Welcome to the offlane, buddy. As Mick... What is this, their OG impersonation? What's going on here? They're gonna pay for this one, or are they? How did they all survive? He got no kill out of that.
All I can say is welcome back, Sumail. It's been a while, but it is a pleasure to watch him play. On fire this game. The whole team really, just cliche, but firing on all cylinders, no real individual mistakes. I don't think Brame has played a bad game or a bad series by any means. Just outmatched in this one. All downhill after that first blood skirmish. No, the downside, you know, TA, much more active, way more threat. You have to play around a Death Prophet much differently, and Wish definitely was kind of controlling the tempo in the previous 2, but here, just when you fall, when your team's behind on a Death Prophet, like, I just don't really know what you can do. Still have this mid-tier 1 standing even. Tier 3 items still available for Radiant. They don't have any of the 4 available because they just can't find jungle camps.
Give the gem to Mickey. That's how confident they are that he can just go in at any time. 3,300 HP on him. Aegis will expire, so Brame can still try and take a fight soon. Gotta wait for Exorcism first. He's gonna go for a Glype here.
Dude, Axe Coil is actually just way too good. 4-second stun, pierces the BKB. 700 break damage before Spell Amp. No wonder this hero is good. 6, oh my god. 8 seconds. 8 seconds.
There goes the Aegis.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Brame, how do they crack open this Liquid offense? Feels like they gotta get, they gotta somehow catch Insania and Sumail, right? Those are the heroes that actually can get 100 to 0'd.
You should have known better.
Yeah, it's a lot easier said than done, though.
It almost looks like they want them. They're like, okay, you can have top lane of Barracks, but when you rotate over to bottom, that's when we're gonna take that team fight. But Liquid has actually been playing cautiously. They smoked up, played on the triangle. Now they're going to head back in.
Oh, yeah, Koifa with Ags up, just murdering the racks.
Oh no, they're mass TPing back. But it's too late. I'm a little bit befuddled there, Kyle.
What can you do though, Cap?
Yeah.
It's easy to call out mistakes with no fog of war, but this map is very dark for Brame. They're trying to keep the lights on, but the sun is setting on their chances in this
I'm just
game.
not sure. Is that a fog of war thing?
They don't see them.
They were hitting,
look, they don't see
They were
anything.
hitting top lane of Barracks. Did you think they were going to stop?
They looked like they were going to stop.
All right.
Mickey tricked him. Oh, no.
That's a good kill.
But now they're going to run away.
Okay, the Stampede managed to get in front of Taiga here. Wish catches up. 2 supports potentially dying in this. No, they're actually going to try and turn this with the Chronosphere onto 3. They're going to go for the kill. Oh, that's a lot of damage, but the Oracle managed to save out Wish. He's going to be okay on the Death Prophet now with the Hex onto Mickey. No, he takes it off. He time walks away. So much of the damage being undone there. Wish, he's limping away back to the base as best as possible. Skylark hits a really good stun. Taiga, he's chasing after them as best as possible. Yule Scepter going off, but Wish survives for a second, but not a second more.
Double ult for Koifa.
Immediately a bash, focus, turns, but the silence, it's not going to last long enough for them to do much to Mickey. He's just so damn tanky, but maybe Skylark, he jumps in, hoof stomps it again. They do not have the damage to deal with Mickey. And it's looking like the GGs are being announced bit by bit.
What?
Spinning away. Their best hope at this point is somehow lure Liquid into the fountain. Maybe Mickey will take them up on that. A 2-man impale, that's a pretty good one. And actually managed to save him from Sumail's dagger as well. So the Lion is going to be able to stay alive. Mickey opting to try and go back in, but to keep their distance. Not allowing that Inkswell to be able to go through. Skylark is going to be able to catch. Oh, the Soulblind catches him before Skylark can jump forward. Immediately the chat wheel lines go out. Insania, they know where he is thanks to the Phantom's Embrace. Which is placed onto focus. Brame, they're not going to be able to keep chasing, apparently, and Sumail is going to make sure they don't feel comfortable doing so.
That was they hit him with the fake GG. Now, you can't type GG, because that ends the game. You know, rules are, you call GG, it's over. But if you voice line ETA GG, that does not end the game. But it does bait Liquid into the fountain. Their nemesis. That's a Galaxy Brain play.
Galaxy Brain.
You know, find a way to win. That's the name of the game. This is a big series.
This is where it all turns around.
They bought themselves one more fight. No Taiga. Liquid's cocky. They're tipping each other. Yeah, you can see it. This is the play.
Taiga inside of the fountain. Absolutely brilliant Etagigi play. Incredible.
And now they're laughing to themselves. Skylark is not enjoying this game.
No. Think Spartan is either, but Wish still have an Essence Ring. Skylark comes forward, stomps up Koifa. They do immediately stun Mickey when he jumps in. Problem still being they don't have the damage to really threaten him. Wish is going to push forward with his Exorcism, but he's having a hard time with it as Koifa's already run down Skylark. Now he's draining away focus as well. He's going into the fountain, and Koifa, he's going to go ahead, complete that fountain dive. Gets him in the end. A celebratory Chronosphere, and GG is finally forced as Liquid will take it 2-1. They do drop that one game, but ultimately Sumail on his way back ends the series, his first series back, 15-0-16.
Not bad. Not bad. I think he can do better. I was expecting more from him. Those aren't exactly Jordan numbers. More, you know, maybe Kyrie level, but not quite what he'd hoped for. But well played. 44-13. That was a lot of slaughtering. We said Liquid, they had to get kills to win the game, and they spent effectively the entire time doing just that.
Yeah, it is fun to be able to see some of the legends coming back. We have Anna coming back now, Sumail as well, and it does bode well for Liquid. We were concerned how losing Boxy was going to affect them, but it seems like they're able to keep pushing on, and with a 2-1 against Brame.
They do push on forwards and get a big W here on the board today in their first series where Sumail is standing in for Boxy. We're going to break it down and talk to one of the winners, and we're fingers crossed for Sumail here, but we'll find out after the break who we're talking to.
It's like a wild wind. It moves me. Can't hide, cannot escape. You drive me so wild and beautiful. You're strong and wonderful. High in the sky, I feel it in my bones. You drive me. So wild and beautiful. So wild and beautiful. Round the world, you shine on. It's what I'm looking for. You drive me so wild and beautiful. You're strong and wonderful. High in the sky, I feel it in my bones. You drive me. So wild and beautiful. So wild and beautiful.
Despite my panel not liking Team Liquid's draft compared to Brame's here, there's big smiles on the Team Liquid squad here because they did manage to take Game 3 in a fantastic dominating fashion here. And yeah, they take the series with that as well. I'm here with BSJ and with ODPixel. And what was the main difference maker that made this work so well, Brian?
I'm going to defend myself and say that I said I thought Brame's draft was way easier to play.
Okay.
And I was concerned that if Liquid didn't play super clean, they were going to get ran over by like the momentum of the Death Prophet and punishing the long cooldown of the Chrono. And I will just say that I think Taiga carried the ever-living shit out of that game because the first like 7-8 minutes, like the saves he had, the plays he was making, I don't know, man. Like, it was insane.
It made you kind of question, why have they not been picking it that
Yeah,
much,
like,
it's still as good as it was, and he's just...
The save on Razor and then him getting out too, that was Death Prophet ult. That's what we were concerned about. And then it does nothing.
Like, it was insane.
Game changing.
I mean, and sort of to go off what Brian said, you know, what they needed to do was just to just play fast and dominate, and they absolutely did. You know, this is some of the fastest that we've seen Liquid play. A real change-up from what they were going for in Game 1 and Game 2, where they get Insania on something else that he can get in aggressive with this Grimstroke, and of course all centered around the fantastic Sumail, ridiculous performance on his puck, and goes to show, you know, we got to see the third game, which of course we're all very happy to see in a series like this, and you know, it's not just the Lesh that he's bringing back, he's ready to come back on other heroes, and puck definitely going to be something for future teams to watch out for, especially in a game where they did have things against the puck. It didn't matter. They couldn't get their hands on Sumail. They had silences, they had hexes. It did not matter. Just immaculate performance from the King.
And why was the Faces Void, like normally you have to play around the Chrono. It didn't feel like they had that pause button that the Chronosphere normally gives.
Yeah, it was just the momentum they had, right? Because the Earth Spirit puck were so strong that he could participate in the fight without feeling like he had to do as much damage as he could just be a tanky, beefy. He built the SNY pretty early on.
Yeah, this used to be the build pretty much.
Low cooldown, just time walk in. They can't burst you. You draw attention to yourself, allow your other heroes to be enabled. Really well played by all of Liquid, but I was just highlighting Mickey because his performance.
And Taiga, yes, for sure. Hello,
Or
Blitz!
Taiga.
We're talking to Coach Blitz here from Liquid.
Hello.
Congratulations on the series, sir.
Thank you.
I have to ask one question, game-related first. I don't know if you know, do you know what was up with the tipping of Wish in Game 3?
What's up with Wish?
I think you just naturally tip the mid player whenever he pops Exo and it doesn't do anything. It's like, there's no beef. We have no beef with them.
we're just making sure. We wanted to know if there was any, but no, not unfortunately. So how did you find first series with Sumail standing in for Boxy today?
It was great. Sumail is fantastic. I mean, we got this guy. We knew we probably needed him. Contacted him a few months ago. He was really easy. Literally the day after the Enigma series, shout out to Liquid. They got him a visa like the day after, and then he was just like off a flight, ready to scrim. We've been grinding with him. He's been phenomenal. Honestly, I'm really surprised if he doesn't get another opportunity on a top tier team.
Yeah. I also don't know if you want to share anything regarding Boxy's situation, or if you'd rather just talk about the game.
No, we can. So I'd rather not get into the specifics of it. I see some people asking and wondering if it's like somebody in his family has coronavirus or anything like that. No, his family's responsible and everything like that. This is not like a long-term thing. No matter how well we do with Sumail, if we go 4-0 or we win the major, however long he plays with us, I'd still love to give up the opportunity for Boxy to come back. I know he's watching. We love him a lot. Hope he knows that like we think about him all the time. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes from here on out for us. We have no timetable on anything. Just whenever he feels like it, open arms.
Okay, that is awesome to hear, and I'm sure a lot of fans are very happy to hear that too.
I'm just wondering, you know, you've been in esports for a long time, Blitz, and what's it like to be able to talk about a team atmosphere just like you just described? That just sounds like the dream for every player, where we talk about like roster shuffles and, you know, doing what's best for ourselves, and just hearing that you guys talk about Boxy, no matter how well you guys do, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I talked about it is, look, if we did it in some like shady way, I couldn't live with myself. I would rather just simply not go to TI if that was the case. And I know I can't really speak for everyone here, but if this isn't like our philosophy as a team, then I would rather just not coach. I feel pretty strongly that you can't say all this bullshit about being family and like how close you are if you're not going to stick with them when times are tough as well. So I really like being here as a result. I think they are model citizens. I think all 4 guys here are excellent. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think, you know, if there's ever an organization to sort of say the things that you're saying in Blitz, you know, Liquid, I think everyone in the world absolutely believes every single word that you're saying about this. And yeah, Blitz, first of all, miss you a lot, buddy. Hope you're doing great.
Hi, Owen.
I just sort of want to know, you're saying how well, you know, Sumail's obviously slipping in for these games. Do you feel that you're able to sort of keep that same dynamic that Liquid has, where you have that versatility with all your roles with Sumail in the squad, or are you having to change up a lot of your strategies now around Sumail being in?
Actually, I think things open up because he brings a lot of new ideas. He's a different player. I think it all also helps because Max has been phenomenal in the off lane. Like, if you watch him play, you would not think that he was just, like, he adjusted so quickly to the role. We gave him, 3 days of practice? And we're like, yo, just figure it out. it's nothing like your hero pool. You're gonna have to now call like an offlaner. Everything is different, but he's done like a phenomenal job of figuring it out. Honestly, Max is like the only reason any of this works. As good as Sumail is as a mid player, the fact that we're able to slot Max in helps a lot. And you know, further down the line, when we get a little bit more comfortable and we have a few more days, then you can probably see us go back to doing crazy things. Sumail's an excellent safe laner. Mickey can also play mid. Max can also play mid. You give us a little bit of time and we can figure some stuff out.
Yeah, because you say a couple of days. When did Sumail arrive in the Netherlands?
So we got him here Thursday at like 7 a.m. and then he just didn't sleep and we scrimmed like 4 games and he just was like, he was a zombie, but he was still playing. He was grinding it. Those scrims weren't maybe the most productive, but yeah, I mean, he's been an absolute trooper. I'm really surprised more teams aren't lining up to talk to this guy. His skill is right up there. Personality-wise, he fits in excellently. He talks. He's a really good time. He's been teaching us a lot. He leads a lot of the replay sessions. Like he tells everyone, like, "Hey, come over, come look at this," and stuff like that. He's not anything at all like what I think people would expect. Super humble, nice guy.
All right. Well, I think it gave also a great sales pitch for any teams out there looking.
Yeah, absolutely. This one is phenomenal.
I think a lot of teams mid laners might be quaking a bit. You know, performances aren't too great this league. Yeah, Sumail's coming for your spot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was very good seeing him play. It did fit, especially that third game. You guys were just on absolute fire. So what went wrong in game 2? You just gotta ask the question. You know.
That top lane was like, I was watching that and I was like, are we ever going to recover? And we still almost did.
Almost.
But it was a little bit awkward and it just kind of messed up with our mojo. And then we threw like 2 fights in a row and it was a little bit rough just being in that position in the first place. I think our guys did pretty admirably. Team Liquid, no matter who you replace, it'll still always be the same. So like the identity is still there. We're going to lose some game 2s and win game 3s. That's okay. At least we won. We're doing well in the league now.
Hey, you learn most from losses, right?
I don't know about that. I'm not sure how much we learned from that game, but... Also, happy birthday, Shiver.
Oh,